shape the future.
Who says vaping is safer than cigarettes? Science does not support that belief. Vapes can contain a variety of chemicals, flavoring agents, cancer-causing elements, and other harmful substances. High levels of nicotine in some vapes can be more likely to lead to addiction, and chemical ingredients are not always listed accurately on vaping packages. Vaping can also damage your DNA, your heart, your lungs, and even your smile. Enough with the puff. Learn more at ul.org/vaping.
Listen to KDKA Radio on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, or TuneIn apps.
KDKA and KDKA-FM HD2 Pittsburgh. W261AX Pittsburgh.
Always live on the free Odyssey app. From the Aetna Medicare studios.
Proud to be the voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
It is 44 degrees at Pittsburgh International at 7 o'clock. I'm Rob Taylor. A person was stabbed after police say that person broke into a home in Brookline. This incident happened Saturday afternoon in the 2700 block of Waddington Avenue. Police say the person broke into a home through a screen door and then punched the homeowner. That homeowner then stabbed the person in the arm, according to police. An investigation revealed that the person who allegedly broke into the home was a neighbor, and it all stemmed over a dispute over money. Both people were taken to the hospital. The person who allegedly broke into the home and was stabbed is facing burglary and assault charges. No injuries reported following a sizable house fire in McKees Rock Saturday afternoon. That fire broke out around 4:45 in the 300 block of Olivia Street. Right side of the home was charred by fire. Well, United Airlines flight from Chicago to New York made an emergency landing at Pittsburgh International Airport Saturday morning due to a possible security issue. When the plane landed around 11:45, many passengers quickly evacuated via the emergency slides. There were 159 passengers, along with 6 crew members on board. FBI Pittsburgh office sent a special agent bomb techs and special agents to the scene. Allegheny County Police Bomb Squad said its explosive ordnance disposal team and canines conducted a sweep of the plane, passengers, and luggage with negative results. No injuries were reported. Allegheny County Medical Examiner's Office ruled the death of a 2-year-old a homicide. Sarah Dargy was found unresponsive back on April 7th at a home in the 100 block of McClellan Drive in Pleasant Hills. She died at UPMC Children's Hospital 3 days later on April 10th. Medical examiner said Dargy died from ligature compression of the neck, a type of strangulation. No charges have been filed, but Allegheny County Police are investigating. KDKA Radio News Time at 7:02, which means it's time to call Highwood Cemetery to ensure your family's grave sites are protected now and in the future. 412-766-6600. AccuWeather forecast next.
Here's a tale of Tina searching up and down for decent GLP-1s, but got spun around.
Till Good RX rode in, hey, we got something new. GLP-1 prescriptions, all FDA approved.
Brand name meds, no flags that are red.
Clear pricing from the start. None of those hidden fees in your cart.
Delivered to your door or pick up same day. Darn tootin'.
Save time and money on prescriptions.
Hot foot it to goodrx.com/weight loss. GoodRx is not insurance.
Are you paying too much for term life insurance? A man age 50 non-tobacco user can obtain $500,000 of coverage for as little as $110 per month, level rate for 20 years. That's right, guaranteed level rate for 20 years. Call Term Busters for a quote, 1-800-908-7636. You're probably paying more than you should. Call 1-800-908-7636. Sample rate for preferred non-tobacco rate class, exam required to qualify. For details, call 1-800-908-7636. Paid for by Robert Livinger, Insurance Agent.
I move mountains for a living. Literally. That means I don't carry hand lotion, and when it comes to serious heartburn, I don't mess around with anything but Rolaids. Rolaids' dual-active formula has calcium carbonate and magnesium hydroxide that relieves heartburn fast. Yeah, you heard right. 2 actives for that powerful relief. And the best part? The roll fits right here in my pocket, so I can get back to moving mountains.
Rolade spells powerful relief. Read each label. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. No, we're not one of the big guys. Truth is, we don't want to be. If you're over 50, Big Wireless probably has you paying for more data than you might need. You could be throwing away thousands over a lifetime.
Our entry-level data plans start at just $20 a month. And for a limited time, switch and get your second month free. Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com or a store near you and get your second month free today. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional details.
The KDKA AccuWeather forecast is brought to you by JP Roofing and Siding, Pittsburgh's #1 Platinum Preferred roofing replacement contractor. Call 412-829-7711.
Clouds are favored today with an early shower or two, then another one late with a high of 52. With the risk for a shower still in place tonight, it looks cloudy and colder with a low of 32. Then still cold for tomorrow with some sun, the high 47. Before a warmer up begins on Tuesday with sun much of the time, the high 64. For AccuWeather, I'm meteorologist LaTroy Thornton, 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
It's time to get green. Doug Oster is here. All natural, no pesticides, no artificial ingredients. The Organic Gardener is on 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
All right, this is how this works for 2 decades plus. I say good morning, Doug Oster, DougOster.com. 10th caller wins a incredible gift certificate from Sorgels in Wexford, 412-922-1020. And we invite you to call in to talk to Doug. I say 866-391-1020. And then I say good morning, Doug.
And then I just stumble around and kind of clear my throat and like, what? Huh?
Who?
What? What's it? Where's the rubber duck? Where's the giant duck?
No rubber duck today up here in Foster Plaza because of the windy weather and the rainy weather. But I left here yesterday. I thought I was in Kennywood Park. I mean, there were baby strollers. There were people everywhere. It was really cool.
Well, more important than that, today is National Garlic Day.
Yes, it is.
Hooray!
That's why the duck's here.
And in honor of National Garlic Day, I'm going to be making some garlic pasta for people that are going to come to Sorgels today at 1 o'clock.
Ooh, nice.
We'll see how this goes. You know, I've had this obsession for people to be able to grow this plant. It's a perennial. The Latin is Helleborus niger. They call it the Christmas rose or the winter rose. It's impossible to find, but it's a great plant, and we're going to be selling them today at Sorgels. Sorgels agreed. I do want to tell this story about how I pitched this. I've been working with Randy and Cameron Sorgel for a very, very long time, as long as I can remember, and they are so cool about when I come in, I got all these crazy ideas that I had came in there. This is what happens when you get old, Rob. I went in, and I knew coming in there that the one thing I wanted to pitch more than anything was this thing we're going to do today, selling this plant. But I had 3 things to talk about, and we sat down in the office, and I said the first 2 things, and then I said, wait a minute, there's a third thing, but I can't remember what it is. So we just had to sit there and talk a little bit, and then I said, I remember. It's what we're doing today. So this Helleborus niger, it is evergreen perennial that starts to bloom at the end of November. That's what makes it so special. All year long, it looks good. It looks kind of like a hosta, and just that it has green leaves. And then when you get to the beginning of winter, these flowers pop up. And they go all winter, and it's the coolest thing to be able to see. And so for 10 years, I've been obsessed with figuring out a way to make this plant available to gardeners at a good price. You know, today when we sell these, it's $10 a piece, 1 per family while they last. And if there's any left over, we'll let you know, and then you can go up there and get them. But today at 1 o'clock, that's what we're going to be doing. And at that event, and I'm going to do this as soon as I'm done with the show, I'm going to make some ultimate spicy garlic Alfredo pasta. I've got all the garlic, I've got all the cheese, I've got all the stuff, and I'm going to make that after I get home from the show. So come on up and see me and the Sorgel family today at 1 o'clock. We are going to have so much fun, and you're going to you'll get a plant for your garden that is just phenomenal, that just nobody sells. They only sell them as holiday plants, and they're almost impossible to winter over and get them to do their thing. Now you plant it in the spring, it gets situated, and then will bloom at the end of the year, which is cool. Now, I've been getting lots of questions about it getting cold again. There's nothing you can do. First off, I hope that you didn't plant anything that's tender. I've got some questions from people who have tomatoes out already. It's way, way, way too early to have peppers, tomatoes, beans, squash, anything like that out. We don't put that in until we're sure that there's not going to be any frost, which is the end of May. And even though we've had all this extremely warm weather, we know as gardeners have been doing this for a long time that even through May, it's going to get really cold at night on some days. And so looking at the weather forecast, we've got 1 or 2 days, maybe below 30 even down to 28. For things that are out there already, perennials that are up and daffodils, any other bulbs, your shrubs blooming, there's nothing you can do. You're going to do more harm by trying to cover it, and they should be fine. You've got a really warm soil temperature, and it's just the air temperature dipping. Don't worry about it. It'll be fine. Something funny happened the other day. I got up and my wife said, I taped something for you. You're going to get a kick out of this. And it was from KDKA TV. And they were doing an expose on dandelions and how to get rid of dandelions. And I don't know who they were interviewing, but they were talking about putting, all the herbicides on that they do put on. It's one called 2,4-D. I would never walk on a lawn with my bare feet, or have my kids on a lawn with their bare feet, or a dog walking on a lawn that had that stuff on there. And so they're talking all about dandelions and how everyone hates them and this and that. Well, it comes back from the report, and David Highfield, and I love David Highfield, and especially for saying this, he goes, I kind of like dandelions. They're pretty. And it goes back to the reporter, and it's just like crickets, nothing. Like he was just like, he was stunned. And so I thought we'd talk a little bit about that. Me with my dandelions. Dandelions are one of the most nutritious plants on the planet. The only reason we hate them is we've been taught to hate them from Madison Avenue. They provide a decent amount of pollen and nectar for pollinators, honeybees and native pollinators. And, of course, they're indestructible. And just, when you're growing a lawn, there's two ways to do it. You can spend $1,000 a year and put all those chemicals on there. You're going to have grass with a root zone of like 3 inches. There's nothing that can outgrow grass when it's happy. You don't have to do all this. If you look at the lawn at Phipps, if you drive by Phipps and you see that lawn, that's a completely organic lawn. And it's not a monoculture. It doesn't look like a golf course, but it's green and it's pretty and it's fine and it's safe. And so all we have to do, you get a soil. If you're battling your lawn, and I had a question yesterday on email. Just showed me all these weeds and everything in their yard, and they'd already put a chemical down, put 2,4-D down, but without much success. And I just said, you're going about this the wrong way. You've got to think about this differently. You got to think about grass as a plant and get a soil test. Figure out what the pH is. Figure out what the fertility is. And that soil test from the Penn State Cooperative Extension, it's $11. You can find them at nurseries. Sorgels has sold them in the past. Or you can just send away to Penn State to get it. And those numbers will tell you everything you need to do to change the soil. It won't happen overnight. But when you get grass growing good and happy with a good fertilizer and getting the pH right, and keep it high, 3.5 inches or more. It'll shade out the weeds and do maybe a little bit of overseeding. Fresh seed is more vigorous than the old grass that's there. And you can have what you want. You can have a nice green lawn, but it's going to be less expensive and it's going to be safer. And so most of these lawns that are organic, they are called a quilted lawn. That means that there's more than one species. But it's all green. You know, before we go to break, Rob, let's see if we can grab a caller here.
All right, let's do that. Let's say hi to Mary in New Kensington. Doug Oster, DougOster.com. Hi, Mary.
Hi, good morning. How are you?
What's on your mind?
I'm calling to find out if you can help me solve a little bit of a puzzle that I have here.
Okay.
I have 4 of the Lenten rose that are like a pink and purple color, and I have 2 that are white. And the white ones are gorgeous, but they're getting too big. And I wanted to find out, is there any way that I can divide them and transplant them to another area in my yard?
It can be done, but they don't like it. And so we would want to do that. Are they finishing up blooming or still doing their thing?
I believe they're still doing it. They have beautiful flowers on them.
You know, I would prefer to do this in the fall. Could it wait to the fall or not? If it can't wait to the fall, we'll have to do it now. But I wouldn't want to divide them. I would want to lift that whole plant and move it somewhere else where it wouldn't be too big. Cutting them up, it's really going to slow them down. It's probably going to be 2 years until it blooms again, maybe 3. And so would moving it work or not, or is it just too big?
Well, I've had them now for about, I'd say 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
And they are really pretty, and they're gorgeous. They come back like brand new plants.
Jeez,
I don't do nothing with them.
I would hate to move them. They sound like they're doing so good, Mary. Are they just out of bounds on the bed, or?
No, I have 2 right beside my porch in the front of my house, and it's just a little area. But I'm afraid if they start growing out into the grass, that they're going to be cut with a lawnmower.
Yeah.
And I don't want to destroy them.
Well, the best way that I would say to move it would be move them in the fall and get them away from that area, and you'll be fine then. But you're just going to do it on a nice day where you've got cloudy and cool and rain, and you can make the move then.
All right, what's coming up?
Coming up next, I was at Phipps, and I did a little recording there with Ben Dunnigan, the director of horticulture, talking all about Phipps' spring show called True Colors, and it is amazing. We had a lot of fun.
Coming up next.
Listen to KDKA Radio on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, or TuneIn apps.
News Radio, KDKA, Sports.
Sports brought to you by Coons Quality Foods with 8 locations to serve you, a Pittsburgh tradition. Malcolm and Russ scored for the Pens, but it wasn't enough as they lost Game 1 in their postseason matchup to the Flyers at PPG Paints Arena last night. The final was 3-2. Bucks lost 8-7 to Tampa. 2 teams again today, PNC Park. First pitch, 135, 93-7 the Fan. And less than a week before the NFL draft and the curtain comes up in Pittsburgh, a blockbuster deal yesterday saw the Giants trading 3-time Pro Bowl defensive tackle Dexter Lawrence to the Bengals in a deal that will include the 10th overall pick. That, according to sources from the National Football League. The Giants now head into Thursday night with the 5th and 10th pick in the first round. Riverhounds defeated Detroit Highmark Stadium 2-1 last night, and through 3 rounds of the RBC Heritage, Matt Fitzpatrick has at 17 under. He has a 3-shot lead. More sports, 93.7thefan.com.
For a beautiful garden that's healthy and safe, use Dramatic Organic Fertilizers by Dram. It's the organic choice to produce brilliant fruits and vegetables that are healthy for your family. And because it's all natural, it's safe for barefoot fun and playful pets. Available at your local garden center or nursery. Ask for Dramatic Organic Fertilizers. Visit us online at dram.com. Dramatic Organic for dramatic results.
The KDKA radio text line is driven by Kenny Ross Auto Group. Find your best deal and Pittsburgh's best warranty at kennyross.com.
Hey, I'm Sam.
And I'm Calvin.
With Cousins Roofing, Siding, and Decks. You ever wait way too long for a haircut and finally get one and think, why didn't I do that months ago?
Oh, yeah. Suddenly you're walking taller, smiling bigger, and feeling like a new person.
That's exactly what it feels like when you finally replace that old roof or deck. You don't realize how bad it looked or how much better it could be until it's done.
And when it is, your whole house feels fresh again.
Give your home that clean-cut confidence with a new deck, roof, or siding project.
Call the Cousins.
Call the Cousins.
I'm all in on these amazing April savings, and so is Frank Dentisi. Right, Frank?
Right, Rob. In our meat department, USDA Choice Porterhouse or T-bone steaks are $12.99 a pound. In the produce department, all-purpose Idaho potatoes, 8-pound bags, $2.99 each. In our deli, General Tso's or sesame orange chicken with rice meals, $6.99 each. An additional savings this week, Stone Ridge Creamery ice cream, 48-ounce containers, 2 for $6.
At Coons Market, a Pittsburgh tradition.
Doug Oster tells you how to keep it green. The Organic Gardener is on 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
I am sitting in the Palm Court at Phipps Conservatory and Botanical Gardens with Director of Horticulture Ben Dunnigan, talking all about the Spring Flower Show. Ben, welcome to the show, and thank you for welcoming me to your show.
Oh, yeah, happy to have you here, Doug. It's always a pleasure to have you. I enjoy talking plants and talking shop. You and I, we go back quite a while now.
We do. What's the theme this year of the show?
The theme this year is True Colors, and as you look around, I think you can kind of get an idea as to why we came up with that theme. Just lots of color, lots of movement and sound. It's a really nice, beautiful show.
I just love the color combinations, and I've been here for an hour before we started with our interview, and I've been talking to people, and they are just over the moon. What is it about the spring show that, first off, brings so many people here and brings so many smiles along with it?
Oh, yeah, well, that's easy, Doug. Winter is over, you know? It's like the gray skies that we're so used to here in western Pennsylvania are starting to kind of clear up and turn blue. And you know, what better way to kind of celebrate that change of season than to come on out and see the flowers?
We're looking at orange tulips, yellow tulips, purple hyacinths. What else will people see when they come here that they might not expect to see?
Sure, yeah. One of the things we do really well is grow our rocket snapdragons. You can see some of those out there. And some people are familiar with our disbud mums, and the rocket snaps are kind of similar. Really tall, really slender, and just, you know, full of color, just really beautiful plants.
And I heard people commenting about them, like, look at the size of these snapdragons. If you're out in a garden, you're never going to see a snapdragon that looks like that.
No, I mean, some of them we got are almost about 6 feet tall, which is really remarkable for a snapdragon. A lot of times in your exterior gardens, they're going to be a little bit more blown over in the wind, and but here we're training them to create one stem reaching up towards the sky, so to speak.
Well, I know that like snapdragon seeds are very small. Do they start from seed, or do they get plants first and then prune it into that?
Yeah, no, we do both actually. So some we do grow from seed, and some we grow from cuttings or plugs. It's called what they're called in the trade. So essentially, just like little baby plants that will grow on. But the more importantly, it's how you grow them. From that beginning stage to the display stage. You're not encouraging them to branch out laterally. You're encouraging them to give all that as much vertical growth as you can get.
For me, I'm always amazed that the stuff is ready for the show, that the timing is right, and that's got to be scary.
Oh yeah. Well, this year we did a few things. We actually changed the dates of our show a little bit to accommodate the NFL draft that's happening. We wanted to be in show mode during the draft, not during our installation mode of our summer show.
That's a great idea.
And to do that, we had to kind of stall the plants a little bit and try to use some techniques. What we do in our production greenhouses with our cineraria, so to speak. We try to grow them at colder temperatures to keep them nice and beautiful through the show. But Doug, I think you might know this, but your guests and radio audience might not know. These tulips that you're looking at, this is the third wave of that tulip. So if you come in here, every tulip you see will be changed out up to 4 times during the duration of the show. So you're never going to come in here and not see beautiful flowers.
Well, that's what I wanted to ask you about, because when you have a warm spring like we've had and you're in a conservatory, those bulbs and their flowers aren't going to last as long, because we found out in our own gardens with daffodils.
No, they're not. Yeah, I mean, really, in our greenhouse, if it's 80 degrees outside like it's been, it can be up to 90 degrees in here, and a tulip won't last that long in 90 degrees. But we do what we can. We try to stretch them as long as we can and change out as many as we can. So it's a challenge, but it's something that we're used to doing, and we've got a good program to do it.
Any idea how many tulips are in this show?
I should have brought my notes out. You know what? I know that there are over 50,000 bulbs in the show from the start to finish. Now that includes tulips, daffodils, hyacinths, grape muscari, all of them. But you're looking at 50,000 bulbs from start to finish.
When I was looking through the show before we sat down, I saw the signage about senses. Tell me about that, because I think that was really cool. Like I was in the room and I saw something that said listen, and I'm like, listen? I'm like, oh yeah, oh here, you turn this on and the water starts coming out. That's cool.
Yeah, that's right. I'm so glad you asked about that. So that's something new that we're doing. We're testing it out for this show, and we really, really like it. We're going to include it in pretty much all of our shows moving forward, where essentially we just have very small, little subtle icons, essentially, that kind of let somebody know, hey, we've given some thought to this space right here. Maybe you should lean in and smell the flowers. Or let's put a little symbol of an ear. Maybe you should listen to see what's going on. Or even touch. You know what, Doug? I want your listeners to know it's okay to touch the plants here at Phipps. A lot of times I'll hear people say, oh, don't touch the flower, don't touch the plant. That's not true. There's only two plants we don't want you to touch, the cacti, for obvious reasons, and our bonsai, because they're so precious. But other than that, we like the idea of people touching the plants, feeling the senses, and encourage that. Just don't pick the flowers.
There you go. Well, as we're talking, we've got a school group coming through, and I went through the show with this school group. And you got some young kids here experiencing the flowers, and to hear their reaction, it was just wonderful. Like, do you smell that? Do you just look at that? And in the sunken garden where that rain is happening,
isn't that neat?
Yes,
Yeah.
Everybody was infatuated with that.
Yeah, it's nice to have the school groups in here. It's really, it really reminds us of why we're here when we bring the school groups in, and about educating and inspiring people. And, you got to start when people are young. I think back to when I was a young kid, going to my first botanical garden in Washington, D.C., and I still remember it. I didn't know at the time this would be my career, but it was such an impactful moment, and it's just really nice to be able to share those moments with the children.
Yeah, it was fun to just kind of be a fly on the wall walking behind them, and they were so well behaved. I mean, I guess because they were just so infatuated with the beauty here. Talk a little bit about, when you're setting a show like this up, what do you hope that people get out of this when they come through here and see all these colors and spring flowers?
Yeah, that's a great question. There's so many different answers to that, because, sometimes people are coming through and they just simply want to get away from the cold, like I was mentioning earlier. Other people might be just really needing a peaceful place to relax. Maybe they've got a busy time in their life. They might have something going on, and we're right here with all the universities and the hospitals, so there's lots of other things in people's life that are happening. So it's a nice little respite to get away. But of course, I'm always looking to try to inspire people and give them ideas that they can take home and use in their landscape.
Well, Ben, as we finish up, I can smell the hyacinths, and I'm going to go explore the show a little bit more. Thanks so much for your time. It was great to see you.
Oh, always a pleasure, Doug. Take care.
Don't delay in getting that plumbing repair done. Call Palucci Plumbing today for all of your plumbing needs. From trenchless sewer repair and waterline repairs and replacement, hot water tanks, sewer camera inspections, to Pittsburgh potty repairs, no job is too small for Palucci Plumbing. Owners Amy and Nick Palucci have been in business for 26 years, so give them a call for your next plumbing repair or replacement. Palucci Plumbing, 412-782-5050. That's 412-782-5050.
Hey, Mom, now that I have an after-school job, I think I want to buy a drum kit.
Okay, Rockstar. Let's look at your account.
When kids start making money, Chase has easy-to-use tools and expert bankers to help them learn how to manage it.
And next month, I'll buy the bass drum and the cymbals. Oh, and maybe some noise-canceling headphones for you.
Aw, you've thought of everything.
Help kids save, budget, and build financial independence, all with Chase. That's good for kids and good for parents. Visit your local Chase branch and get started.
Account subject to approval. J.P. Morgan Chase Bank, N.A. member FDIC.
It's your captain speaking. To the passenger with the Mirror Fast soft chews, smart move.
No way am I letting travel constipation ruin this trip.
Can't blame you. Mirror Fast works fast, but without the harsh side effects.
Since I'm such a smart traveler, can I move to first class?
No. Close the curtain, Carol.
From the makers of Miralax, new Mirafast soft chews work naturally with your body in as little as 30 minutes to give you a comfortable go on the go. Find Mirafast today at your local retailer. Use as directed for occasional constipation. Contains magnesium hydroxide.
Y108 presents Odyssey, The Night Before, powered by Bowser Chevrolet, starring Jason Aldean.
Oh my goodness, let's go!
Can't buy a ticket to this show. You can only win your way in. Full details at y108.com. Presented by Miller Lite and brought to you by Giant Eagle, Pool City, True Green, and Broken Bow Records.
From the Aetna Medicare Studios.
Proud to be the voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
It is 44 degrees at Pittsburgh International at 7:30. I'm Rob Taylor. A United Airlines flight from Chicago to New York was diverted to Pittsburgh International Airport Saturday morning due to a possible security issue. When that plane landed around 11:45 a.m., many passengers quickly evacuated via emergency slides of the plane. There were 159 passengers and 6 crew members on board that plane. FBI Pittsburgh office sent its special agent bomb techs and special agents to the scene. The FBI, or rather the Allegheny County Police Bomb Squad, sent its explosive ordnance disposal team, and canines conducted a sweep of the plane, the passengers, and luggage with negative results, and, quote, no injuries were reported. The Allegheny County Medical Examiner's Office ruled the death of a 2-year-old a homicide. Sarah Dargy was found unresponsive back on April 7th at a home in the 100 block of McClellan Drive in Pleasant Hills. She died at UPMC Children's Hospital 3 days later. Medical examiner said Dargy died from ligature compression of the neck. That's a type of strangulation. No charges have been filed, but Allegheny County Police are investigating. Well, the woman who died in a shooting in Braddock early Saturday morning has been identified. Allegheny County Medical Examiner's Office identified her as 26-year-old Quinn Vinay. Police say a suspect fired shots at a group of people from across the street around 2 o'clock. And that was Saturday morning near Club Elegance on Braddock Avenue. 3 people were shot. Vinay later died. 2 others were transported to the hospital. Police have not publicly identified a suspect as of yet. Well, no injuries were reported following a sizable house fire in McKees Rocks. This fire broke out Saturday afternoon around 4:45 at a home in the 300 block of Olivia Street. Right side of the home was charred by fire. KDKA Radio News Time at 7:32. We've got the AccuWeather forecast next.
Aetna was there for me as I was going through a rough medical patch this year. I had peace of mind, which helped with my healing.
Those words from a real Aetna Medicare Advantage member speak to why U.S. News & World Report named us a best Medicare Advantage company. Because we show up on calls with members and doctors' offices when requested. We show up with the latest in online tools for easier access to healthcare. We show up for you. Because that's how healthier happens together. Member feedback has been edited for length and clarity.
I'm Dan Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Last year, millions of people called us for representation. Why? Because trust grows when you win. And we've won a lot. Over $30 billion and counting. When you call America's largest injury law firm, you're calling a family. You're calling an army. Our army. You're calling somebody who will fight for you. Injured? Let our family fight for your family. Morgan & Morgan. ForThePeople.com.
Morgan & Morgan, 603 Stanwyck Street, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania lawyer will handle Pennsylvania cases. Prior results do not guarantee a similar outcome.
Suffering from peripheral neuropathy? Learn how over 15,000 sufferers regained their comfort, mobility, and quality of life with Tri-State Neuropathy Center's successful treatment plan that is FDA cleared, non-invasive, and drug-free. Here's Sean Ritchie, DC, and Tri-State's founder about one of their many satisfied patients.
One thing I like about having the most effective treatment protocol on the market for peripheral neuropathy is the stories that we hear. Like Karen from Export, she suffered with neuropathy for 3 years, and it got so bad that she couldn't even wear her normal shoes. In fact, she got rid of them and can only wear Skechers. After going through the program, now she's able to wear any shoes she wants, and she's very disappointed that she got rid of all her other shoes.
Tri-State Neuropathy Centers helped Karen. Let them help you next. Call 724-940-9000 for an initial free consultation. That's 724-940-9000. Tri-State Neuropathy Centers, the leader in treating peripheral neuropathy. Learn more at marydanston.com.
There's a new kind of energy at Starbucks. When your day needs a reset, try the all-new energy refreshers. Strawberry acai, mango dragon fruit, or the all-new mango strawberry. The refreshers you love, now with extra caffeine. New energy refreshers only at Starbucks.
Pump up the volume.
Business moves fast.
Pump up the volume.
When you ship with USPS Ground Advantage, you can keep up with confidence. Visit USPS.com/Ground Advantage to learn more.
The KDKA AccuWeather forecast is brought to you by JP Roofing and Siding, Pittsburgh's #1 Platinum Preferred Roofing Replacement Contractor. Call 412-829-7711.
Watch for a shower or two early and late in the day today, otherwise generally cloudy with a high of 52. Then colder for tonight with another shower around late and a low of 32. That leads to tomorrow, which brings in some cold conditions with some sun and a high of 47, but warmer Tuesday with more sun around, high 64. For AccuWeather, I'm LaTroy Thornton, 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
All right, get through the weekend, be back on Monday. But, when we launch on Monday, it'll be draft week. So I'll catch you then on Monday. Colin Dunlap, 2 to 6, KDK.
All right, let's get some gardening questions in here. Come on now. Spring has sprung. 866-391-1020. If you are the 10th caller, you will win a gift certificate from Janoski's in Clinton. So make the 10th caller right now, 412-922-1020. 10th caller, 412-922-1020. Been out there a lot lately, a lot of really cool things. I had a sample Saturday yesterday. You're heading out to Sorgel's later today. You know, Sorgel's and Janoski's both have one thing in common, pies.
And corn.
Yes. Delicious stuff, man.
Do you know they're already, at Janoski's, they're already planting corn? That's just amazing.
I'm the guy on Facebook at home in the morning watching this stuff.
I watched it too.
It's really interesting.
That's smart of them to do that. You know, like, a view from like the, I don't know what it is, a tractor or, I don't know,
it's a tractor.
Special planter.
And listen, I'm going to say this, and I love Patty and Mike and, Tommy, but Steve's a superstar. Steve's got the gift that Sonny had. Sonny could talk. I'd have Sonny, and we'd be in conversation. I wish Sonny were here today to do social media because it would just be off the charts, and it would really help me grow an audience too. But Steve, he's the future as far as the mouthpiece of that farm. Love it.
I love going there and just
escape.
For us, we're talking about like peppers or something like that. Like, what pepper are you growing? Which one's doing good? It's just like-minded stuff. It's awesome.
Can you imagine? In a perfect world, it would be cool. You'd have to be able to keep up with everyone. But can you imagine being out in the sunshine every day working at a place like that? That would be awesome. I mean, if you were young and physically fit, now they'd find me in some back 40, in the midst of a cornfield, face down, because it's hard work. But to be outside, the fresh air every day, meeting people, that's a pretty cool job.
And that's a job for somebody like that who's lived in that and knows what it is. I don't think somebody like me, I couldn't handle that even 20 years ago.
Really, Doug?
The work ethic.
I know.
You can't take a day off. It's planting time, or it's this, or it's that. It's hard. It's hard work, but they love it. They wouldn't do anything else. They love it.
And they have such good stuff. Now, they have a candy shop up there now. Have you heard about this? Mm-mm. It's in the back of the farm market. Remember when you were a kid and you'd go get the penny candy? Mm-hmm. Well, it's not all penny today, but every type of little candy you could ever imagine. It's really cool. All right, 866-391-1020. Let's get some gardening questions in here right now. So people are anxious, and you were saying earlier it's too early. Listen, it's going to be double work. If you put some of this stuff in now, because we may even get a freeze tonight. That's what Mary Hour said earlier today with me. So just relax a little bit. It'll be here.
There are things you can grow, but the tender things, just they can't handle this cold, wet stuff. It's too cold. But like I've got arugula out there. I've got peas out there. I've got lettuce out there. I've got kale out there. This is all stuff it doesn't care about frost. In fact, it just thrives in this cold weather. So, yes, just wait. And people do get anxious, and it's especially bad when you have such a warm April. I have a couple things to talk about, and then we'll get to the phones. And do give us a call. Let's talk gardening. So my free online garden classes will continue again through Farm to Table, Buy Fresh, Buy Local. Wednesday, 5 o'clock, you just log on with your computer. We're talking about deer-resistant perennials, shrubs, bulbs, and other plants. And I was out at the Remember Me Rose Garden yesterday, and that is an amazing place. When we get to, put this on your calendar, jot this down. When we get to June, end of June to July, go out to that garden, go see the Flight 93 Memorial, and then cross the street and go see this garden because they've got hundreds of these beautiful roses, and they're just doing some pruning yesterday. I did a talk there. It's a very special garden, amazing, but they are also dealing with the deer. And I've got one more thing to talk about, and we'll get right to you there, Mark. I'm making a special appearance this Thursday at a place called Hearth and Home Furnishings in Zelienople, and it's all to raise funds for something called a Match for Jacks. It's supporting a young boy who is bravely battling something called IPEX syndrome. It's a rare, life-threatening genetic disorder. And so I'll be there. I'll be presenting Creating a Black and Gold Garden, kind of, I guess, in honor of the draft, and giving away signed copies of my book, Steel City Garden, all trying to raise funds to help this young boy try and find a match and survive this life-threatening problem. So Thursday at 6:30, Hearth and Home Furnishings. It's actually, I'll be doing also a live container planting, and we're going to give that away too. It's a two-part thing. You can either do both or just go to the other one, and they're consecutive. So the other one is at Paint and Plant. It's where they're going to do door refinishing, show you how to do a class on that. So both workshops are included for $25. It's all on my website, DougOster.com. All right, Rob, let's get to the phones. We've been begging for callers, and let's talk gardening.
All right. Here's Mark in Gibsonia. Hey, Mark. Good morning.
Hey, good morning, Doug. How are you?
Good. What's going on?
Good. Hey, I have a wall of arborvitae. There's about 30 of them. They're about 35 foot high, and I planted. They're along the driveway, and I planted them about 30 years ago. Okay, and they're starting to thin a little bit because I've trimmed them back because they are along the driveway. My question is, can I take approximately 8 to 10 foot off the top of them because it doesn't matter about the look? Okay, I mean, I know they might not grow on top again, but will that help them from thinning?
No, that's probably the worst thing you could do, Mark.
Okay.
That's going to really mess you up because when you top a tree like that, first off, that tree it's just always going to, or any plant is always going to try and reach its genetic height and width. And if it was me and I had really good, old tree shrubs like that, I would really just get a certified arborist to come and take a look at it. See, he'll probably just want to fertilize them, but they come for free. Like, of course, I work for Davey Tree. They come on the show every other week.
Yep.
I know those guys. They're going to come for free. They're not going to try and sell you anything. And they're just going to tell you what's going on there. Are they getting too old? Are they getting mature? Is it time to think of other things to do, or is it fertilization? I can't diagnose it by not looking at it. And even if I did look at it, I wouldn't really know what I was doing compared to a certified arborist. Get one of those guys to come out and take a look. And again, it doesn't cost you anything. It's just your time.
Right.
And have an expert do that, because those are really important trees and giving you lots of privacy, I assume.
Yeah, they've been the best, like you say, for 30 years. And I was just wondering if they're just getting old and just starting to thin a little bit, because I know they do have a life expectancy there, don't they?
Yeah, but that's what we need. That's what we need, the certified arborist to take a look at it and see what's going on there. All right, Mark.
I'll give Davey Tree a call. I appreciate the help. Thanks
you so much for your call. Appreciate it.
All right, before we get to Diane and Nancy, let's get to a quick break, and we'll come back. More of the Organic Gardener moments away. KDKA.
Concerned about traveling during the upcoming draft? Don't be. KDKA Radio and AAA Traffic have you covered. We'll expand our draft coverage with all-day traffic reports on your radio and your social media feeds. It's brought to you by AAA Travel. Travel with someone you trust. And by 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA. News Radio, KDKA. Sports.
Sports brought to you by Coons Quality Foods with 8 locations to serve you, a Pittsburgh tradition. Malcolm and Russ scored for the Pens, but it wasn't enough as they lost Game 1 in their postseason matchup to the Flyers at PPG Paints Arena last night. The final was 3-2. Bucks lost 8-7 to Tampa. Two teams again today, PNC Park. First pitch, 135, 93-7 the Fan. And less than a week before the NFL draft and the curtain comes up in Pittsburgh, a blockbuster deal yesterday saw the Giants trading 3-time Pro Bowl defensive tackle Dexter Lawrence to the Bengals in a deal that will include the 10th overall pick. That, according to sources from the National Football League. The Giants now head into Thursday night with the 5th and 10th pick in the first round. Riverhounds defeated Detroit Highmark Stadium 2-1 last night, and through 3 rounds of the RBC Heritage, Matt Fitzpatrick has at 17 under. He has a 3-shot lead. More sports, 937thefan.com.
The mission of the Allegheny Institute for Public Policy is to defend the interests of taxpayers, citizens, and businesses against an increasingly burdensome and intrusive government. Our nonprofit research and education organization formulates and advocates public policies that roll back the size and scope of local government and make it more accountable. Join the cause by making a tax-deductible donation at AlleghenyInstitute.org, where conventional public policy wisdom has been challenged since 1995.
Recently, the world seems to be a little bit scary, and it can be hard to look at the bright side of things. Hi, this is Randy from Sorgles. With everything going on right now, a friend of mine, Brian, his wife Kyra, and son Atlas, gave me some really good advice. He said, Randy, don't let the world consume you. Grow your plants and take care of your customers. That's your job. It made me realize that I have been blessed to provide customers a place where they can put the world behind them when they're at Sorgles. Come enjoy our greenhouse, the home accents, the gift barn, fruit market, deli, bakery, Naturally Sorgles, gluten-free store, the tiny town, the goats. Enjoy ice cream, kettle corn, cookies, and of course fresh fruit, Arsenal cider, Arrowhead wine, and so much more. Sorgles, when the world can be put behind you, and enjoy your day. 724-935-2090.
Growing a brand is hard, but reaching the right customers shouldn't be. Meet Outcomes from Viant. We've built an intelligent platform that handles the complexity of digital advertising for you. Powered by advanced AI, we help your brand show up in the right places at the right time and ensure that every dollar you spend leads to a real business result. It's smarter advertising made simple. Visit Viant.ai.
At Audion Hearing, our mission is simple: to make better hearing affordable for everyone. We're proud to offer high-quality, rechargeable hearing aids starting at just $98. Clear, comfortable, and ready to use right out of the box. And here's a study worth hearing. Research shows that wearing hearing aids can reduce your risk of dementia by up to 61%. Join over 1 million happy customers and hear the difference today by going to audionhearing.com. That's AUDIEN hearing.com.
SchultzFord.com. 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 SchultzFord.com.
Doug Oster tells you how to keep it green. The Organic Gardener is on 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
Crock-pot favorites next hour, but now it's all about gardening. And let's go to Cranberry. Here's Diane for Doug Oster, DougOster.com, KDKA. Good morning, Diane.
Good morning. How are you?
Good. How are you? What's going on?
Good. Good. So I have an old butterfly bush that I never know how to trim back, and so now there's a lot of dead wood in there.
Yep.
What do I do with it?
Right now, just cut it down to about 18 inches. And I know that's going to be hard to do, but you're going to have to be brave and do it because it's going to be the best thing for the plant. All that new growth that sprouts up will bloom so much better than that old kind of woody stuff. And so 18 to 12 inches right now, and trust me that will be a positive thing for that plant, okay?
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Diane.
All right, here's Nancy in Arnold. Hey, Nance, good morning.
Good morning. Thank you for taking my call. My question is about an azalea plant that I have in my yard. It's about 11 years old. It never grows a lot. It has always bloomed every season, but this year it's very sparse and a limited amount of flowers are on it.
Mm-hmm.
What's happening to it? Is it reaching the end of its life?
No. They live a lot longer than that, Nancy. What I would do is it's probably just eating up all the nutrients that are in the soil. So there's this fertilizer I really like that's very easy to find. Any garden center will have it, and it's called Hollytone. And it's specifically formulated for things like hollies, azaleas, rhododendrons, dogwoods, things that like acidic soil. And so get that. You'll see on the back of the bag there's an application rate. This is important that you follow the application rate because putting more on is not going to be better for the plant. It can the plant can only accept so much of that fertilizer, then the rest just heads down to the storm sewer. And so you'll put some on now, and it's usually a heavier dose in the spring, and then you'll put a lighter dose on in the fall, and do the same thing next spring, and you'll see you'll bring that plant back. What color are the flowers?
They're red.
Wow, that sounds great.
Yeah, they're like a red, well, maybe a reddish pink kind of.
And then after you fertilize, put a little mulch down there around it, and we always say the right way to mulch is it never touches the bottom of the plant, and it looks more like a donut than a volcano. And so we just want we just want like an inch or two of mulch around the root zone after the fertilization, and that will help too. That's going to keep the soil evenly moist, and it'll just make the plant happier. Okay?
Yeah. Right. Good. Okay. Well, I'll have to try that. And what was that again? That name,
Hollytone. So there's a whole series. There's a whole series of fertilizers I talk about. Hollytone, tree tone.
Very good.
All right. Thanks so much, Nancy.
Thank you.
All right, Juanita in Irwin on the air with Doug. Go ahead, please.
Hi. Tell me what I'm doing wrong. I start seeds for my tomato plants and stuff. And they get really spindly and they look really ugly. And what am I supposed to do to make them look healthy enough to put a tomato on it? Grow a tomato.
It's all about the lighting. You need to have, instead of window light, you need to have some LED lights, which you can find very inexpensively. The good thing about tomatoes is that you can take those ones, get some lights, and you can get some inexpensive lights, and then
I have lights.
Oh, you do?
I have lights. I've been trying this for probably the last 3 or 4 years.
The lights
never get big enough.
The lights have to be all the way down on the seedlings. So they have to be like within an inch of the seedlings. If you have them that close, and your plants aren't getting nice and stocky like they're supposed to, that means the lights aren't doing what they're supposed to do. And I'm not sure what kind of lights you have. If it's fluorescent light, you've got to change those bulbs every year. Even though we can't see that it's not as bright as it was the year before, the plants can. If it's LED lights and they're within an inch of the top of the plant, they're not bright enough. They're not giving you the light you need. But here's what you can do. You can take those spindly tomato plants, and it works with tomato plants, but not all plants. and you can bury them deeper. Repot them, bury them deeper, make sure they're under super bright light. Then they'll come back and they'll be nice and stocky. And if you have more questions about that, Donita, go to DougOster.com, send me a message, and we'll work through this together. I'd like to see your operation, see what the lights look like, and we'll take it from there. I really appreciate your call. Now, today, the big day, National Garlic Day, but it's the big day where I have spent 10 years trying to get somebody or figure out a way to get somebody to sell this plant. And so today at 1 o'clock, I'll be at Sorgel's Garden Center, and I'm going to be offering this perennial called Helleborus niger that I love, that is tough as nails and blooms at the end of November. It's evergreen. And I'm also, when you talk about crock-pots, Rob, I'm going to be making that ultimate spicy garlic Alfredo pasta, and I'm going to serve it out of my crock-pot. And so come up and see me at Sorgel's. We're going to have a lot of fun there. As we've been talking about, the spring is for the cool weather plants, the pansies, the lettuces, the arugulas, carrots, beets, Swiss chard. They love cold weather. We're waiting on the warm stuff. And as I said earlier, with your azaleas and rhododendrons and stuff like that, don't worry about it when it gets cold. They're used to this. You don't have to cover them. You don't have to cover anything that's out there that's perennial. Don't worry about it. They'll be fine. Trust me. Trust me on that. So remember, organic gardeners, you make our world brighter and safer with each seed you sow and every garden you grow.
All right, there he goes, Doug Oster, DougOster.com. It's all about crock pots and air fryer recipes coming up next hour on the Coons Cooking Hour. So don't touch that dial. We are just underway, and we've got a ways to go all the way until 1 o'clock. Rob Taylor up next with the news at 8 on KDKA.
The Big K Morning Show with Larry Richards.
Pittsburgh Mayor Corey O'Connor. Very atypical with the NFL draft and all the things that are going on.
We're all excited. You know, it's coming fast. But we also want Pittsburghers, and I say this wherever I go, this is also your city. This is your draft. We're going to have hundreds of thousands of people coming from across the country, but we want Pittsburghers to be ambassadors.
Weekday mornings 5:30 to 10 on the Voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
All right, T-minus 4 minutes and counting. 8 a.m., the Garden Center, one-stop shop for perennials, trees, shrubs, decorative garden accessories, pots, mulches, soils, compost, and more. We're talking Janoski's, Route 30 in Clinton. And don't forget, Greenhouse. Delicious radishes, kohlrabi, green onions, pickling cucumbers, mini seedless, a lot of things waiting for you, including lettuce and Swiss chard, all available. Open every single day, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. Greenhouse and Garden Center, farm market expansion, Janoski's in Clinton.
Hard at work for over 75 years, Dram watering tools have been the professional's choice for quality and durability. Now you can create the softest shower of rain with a Dram rain wand in your garden. Choose from 9 water patterns for a variety of uses with a revolver spray gun. And use a color storm sprinkler for a lush playground. Quality you can depend on for a lifetime. Dram, the professional's choice for lawn and garden. Available at a fine garden center near you. Visit us online at dram.com.
What is life-changing medicine? The discovery of cancer at the earliest possible stage, challenging limits and transforming the impossible into reality, or connecting people to doctors and specialists when they need it most. At UPMC, we believe life-changing medicine is all those things. Our goal is to change the world of medicine and the lives of those around us. UPMC, changing healthcare, changing lives. Life-changing medicine.
If you or anyone you care about is facing a family legal matter, call Cordell & Cordell today at 1-855-GET-LEGAL or visit CordellCordell.com to schedule your consultation.
There's a lot on the line in divorce. This is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell, the largest family law firm in the country, with over 35 years of helping clients navigate divorce. But being big doesn't mean less personal or less local. Our attorneys live and work in your community, and as neighbors, they understand the challenges your families face. Divorce touches all areas of your life: your home, savings, retirement, and of course, kids. So So when you find yourself facing divorce, you need a partner you can count on. Visit CordellCordell.com to schedule your consultation.
If you or anyone you care about is facing divorce, contact Cordell and Cordell today. With over 100,000 clients served, we understand the challenges you're facing on a personal level. Call Cordell and Cordell today at 1-855-GET-LEGAL. That's 1-855-GET-LEGAL. Pittsburgh and Cranberry Township. Joseph Cordell, licensed in Missouri and Illinois.
I'm Bob Burke, founder and chairman of Burke America Parts Group, a family of brands that includes RepairClinic.com, an appliance and HVAC parts solution company that's grown into an international brand. Before AmericanEagle.com, we partially launched a new technology platform developed by another firm. American Eagle helped take our technology to a whole new level with digital marketing, software development, and business insights into our key markets, appliances, HVAC, and outdoor power equipment, and did so both on time and on budget. AmericanEagle.com has the resources, experience, and talent needed to produce solutions. Our new technology platform, developed by AmericanEagle.com, has produced tremendous results with higher traffic, conversion, engagement, and online revenue. If you have any home repairs you need to take care of, check us out at RepairClinic.com. If you need a world-class website or technology project, then I would highly recommend AmericanEagle.com.
Call AmericanEagle.com at 773-NETWORK. That's AmericanEagle.com, 773-NETWORK.
14 years in prison for killing a young woman. A 15-year sentence for a crash that caused 3 deaths. 12 and a half years for killing a child and critically injuring her mother. All true stories, all caused by marijuana-impaired drivers. No matter what you tell yourself, if you feel different, you drive different. So, if you're high, just don't drive. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Listen to KDKA Radio on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, or TuneIn apps.
KDKA and KDKA FM HD2 Pittsburgh, W261AX Pittsburgh.
From the Aetna Medicare Studios.
Proud to be the voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
It is 43 degrees at Pittsburgh International at 8 o'clock. I'm Rob Taylor. A massive fire this morning, in Allentown has left 13 people displaced. Now, this fire occurred in the 1500 block of Arlington Avenue early this morning. Once again, that's in Arlington. The main house that caught on fire was unoccupied and condemned, but one of the other homes that caught fire has now 13 people displaced from their homes in the 1500 block of Arlington Avenue from this morning. A United Airlines flight from Chicago to New York made an emergency landing at Pittsburgh International Airport Saturday morning due to a, quote, possible security issue. When the plane landed around 11:45, many passengers quickly evacuated via emergency slides. There were 159 passengers and 6 crew members on board. FBI Pittsburgh office sent its special agent bomb techs and special agents to the scene, and the Allegheny County Police Bomb Squad said its explosive ordnance disposal team and canines conducted a sweep of the plane, the passengers, and luggage with negative results. No injuries were reported. Well, a person was stabbed after police say that person broke into a home in Brookline. Incident happened Saturday in the 2700 block of Waddington Avenue. Police say the person broke into a home through the screen door and then punched the homeowner. The homeowner then allegedly stabbed that person in the arm. An investigation revealed that the person who allegedly broke into the home was a neighbor, and it all stemmed over a dispute over money. Both people were taken to the hospital. The person who broke into the home and allegedly was stabbed is facing burglary and assault charges. KDKA Radio News Time, it's 8:02. We have the AccuWeather forecast next.
Hey, it's Marty. Are you tired of pain or fear of falling that's holding you back, struggling with balance, neuropathy, or joint pain? At Monroeville Physical, spelled F-Y-Z-I-C-A-L, physical therapy is done differently because you are different. Folks, this place is amazing. I've seen it firsthand. Shoulder pain, knee pain, balance issues. They attack it and work it, and it works. Call today. Monroeville Physical, F-Y-Z-I-C-A-L, 412-457-8200.
Here's a tale of Tina searching up and down for decent GLP-1s, but got spun around.
Tell Good RX Road and hey, we got something new. GLP-1 prescriptions, all FDA approved.
Brand name meds, no flags that are red.
Clear pricing from the start. None of those hidden fees in your cart.
Delivered to your door or pick up same day. Darn tootin'.
Save time and money on prescriptions.
I'll put it to goodrx.com/weight loss. GoodRx is not insurance.
Are you paying too much for term life insurance? A man age 50 non-tobacco user can obtain $500,000 of coverage for as little as $110 per month, level rate for 20 years. That's right, guaranteed level rate for 20 years. Call Term Busters for a quote, 1-800-908-7636. You're probably paying more than you should. Call 1-800-908-7636. Sample rate for preferred non-tobacco rate class, exam required to qualify. For details, call 1-800-908-7636. Paid for by Robert Livinger, Insurance Agent.
The KDKA AccuWeather forecast is brought to you by JP Roofing and Siding, Pittsburgh's #1 Platinum Preferred Roofing Replacement Contractor. Call 412-829-7711.
Clouds are favored today with an early shower or two, then another one late with a high of 52. With the risk for a shower still in place tonight, it looks cloudy and colder with a low of 32. Then still cold for tomorrow with some sun, the high 47. Before a warmer-up begins on Tuesday with sun much of the time, the high 64. For AccuWeather, I'm meteorologist LaTroy Thornton, 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
The following program is paid for by Coons Quality Market. This is the Coons Cooking Hour. The crew from Coons Market are here. It's the great food you grew up with and the recipes that make Pittsburgh someplace special.
We are going to talk crock-pot and air fryer recipes. Do-it-yourself kind of stuff. Easy stuff. Anybody can cook, so I guess this is my type of show. Anyway, welcome back. We continue on our Sunday, and in the very familiar 8 a.m. slot, he is in the Metropolitan Window video screen where you can see him and hear it stream live. Frank Dentisi. And again, you have a air fryer or you have a crock-pot recipe. We'd love to hear from you. 866-391-1020. Fill up those phone lines because at the end of the hour, we will draw a lucky listener and that person will win a $25 gift card. All right, so let me ask you this. I was doing a little research getting ready for the show. How do you know what size, make, shape, and model you need when it comes to, everybody knows crock-pots, but air fryers? What's the best advice you can give the listener who may not own an air fryer, what they need to do as they go out and purchase one? Good morning, Frank.
Oh, good morning, everyone. Yeah, I would buy one that has the shelves in it, so 2 or 3 shelves, because the original air fryers, whenever they came out, looked like a Fry Daddy, basically, with the components around it. They didn't hold a whole lot, just one single layer on the bottom, so they don't fry as they don't really bake and cook as consistently and evenly as ones with the shelves in them. That's what I would go for. You don't need all the major bells and whistles, and you basically need it to be able to adjust the temperature. You need to be able to a timer on it for when it goes off, and looking inside, making sure the shelves come out, they're easy to clean. Those kind of simple things. If you're getting a separate one that's not built into an oven or anything, just making sure you have room for it, that it's not too huge, but if you're going to have something that's on the counter all the time, what I did, we have it at our office now, it works like an oven and it can fit a whole pizza in it, but it also has the air fryer options, and it can be a broiler or whatever you want. So, multiple uses. If there's only 1 or 2 of you at home, an oven that size actually a lot of times works out good for small things because you don't have to turn on the big oven, which is going to suck down power. We all know the cost of utilities these days. It's easier to have something small that's not going to really heat up your kitchen. That's not going to overwhelm the electric. You start running that all the time. The bill does make a difference. So those kind of things what I would look for.
So what do you like to cook? I know you cook a little bit of everything, but what are some of your favorites in the air fryer?
Meatballs is one of the ones I love to do in there, because meatballs, the pain of a meatball for me is not mixing it, not making it, not rolling them, any of that. It was cooking them I would always brown them off in the frying pan and then bake them off or put them in the sauce, really. And the problem with that is I didn't have meatballs at that point. I had meat dice. They're square. They're all squared off from rolling them around in the frying pan. And a perfectionist, I'd rather have the round. So we'll put them in the air fryer. 6 or 7 minutes, they're done. They're done.
That's it.
And they're ready to put into the sauce. They take almost no time whatsoever in the air fryer, half of basically what it would even take to put them in the oven and bake them off. And they get that crispiness of what you would have if you put them into a skillet and brown them off. So I love the air fryer for that. Sausage also works out very well. We all know sausage where you can, some back in a lot of times when I first learned, it's like, oh, we boil it first and then brown it. It's like, my mom would brown it off and then put it into the oven and then into the sauce, or she would brown them off, put them into the sauce and then finish cooking in the sauce. I'll put them into the air fryer, finish them off, and then they're going into the sauce, and you can even add some of the drippings if you're want some of the extra flavors that would have baked out. The problem with when we would boil them is the flavor starts coming out. The more you add water, you're throwing away flavor. Cooking them in the skillet, again, you're flipping them over, and the way sausage is shaped, it doesn't always brown off as even, and you're watching over it. Air fryer, again, quickly, it's done. So those kind of things for me are really nice, and just simple things. Like if you're buying frozen chicken breasts that are already breaded, put them in an air fryer, they get crispy. If you want to make French fries are much better in the air fryer than they are in the oven. And honestly, at home, much better in the air fryer than they are even frying them. Because at home, you're not double frying them. They're not getting the same crispness after a few minutes, where in the air fryer, they are. Some little tricks, spraying them with some olive oil or cooking spray, like a vegetable oil cooking spray, canola spray. That oil on the outside crisp them. If you're getting one of those, like chicken breast, chicken nuggets that are already breaded, a good quality one that's already breaded, so those oils will come out. You don't need to spray those. Those kind of things, is what I prefer to make it. I mean, you can do anything. And all the air fryer really is just a super concentrated convection oven. It's using the convection, the fan's going to run a little higher, and it's going to be in a smaller space and condense that heat down. So, that's all it really, really is. But it's really been a time saver, similar to what the microwave is. So much that we'll be adding one, a commercial version in our new location at Bellevue into the little cafe up front. So, again, for quick cooking, to be able to make different things, and that oven's a little more special where it has some other things in it, but be able to do some of that air frying, and we're not putting a fryer up in that section at all. We'll be using the air fryer for that stuff.
Going to be special, and yeah, for all of you who work on Lincoln Avenue in Bellevue, lunchtime is going to be, a whole new flavor to savor when that brand new store gets open in Bellevue. Coons Market currently under construction. Now, the thing about pork, it's always been the concern about how long you have to cook it. But I know a lot of people do air fryer pork chops, and they really are quick and delicious. But the question is, how can they be safe? Because most people know when it is pork, you have to cook it a little longer. But when it comes to an air fryer, lickety-split, you're ready to go.
Well, really, today's pork doesn't have to be cooked to a higher temperature. You can cook it the same as beef. The way they've bred things out, the way they raise them better, the way they watch how they feed them, and the whole process from farm to table, has changed through the years. And you can cook it the same as beef, and a lot of the pork now has more marbling in it, where we always thought, the leaner the better. Well, now it's that marbling. We've realized the marbling tenders out, because the leaner the better is also, could be tough as nails. We were telling in the past, cook it well done, and you want the leaner the better. Well, then people are like, well, I don't like pork, it's tough. Well, yes, because it's not the same marbling, and you're cooking it 165 and up, where now if you cook it down, use that same temperature grade. You might want to go for your own well-being 5 degrees over where you were on beef. If you're at 130, 135 on beef, you go to 140, that kind of thing. But also extending that time, since it is leaner than beef, so a slow and low works great for pork. But that marbling in it now adds so much more flavor, and even on a slow and low, that flavor stays in there and works out great. So And even if you wanted to use an air fryer and cook it in there, or if you just want to brown it on the outside real quick in that air fryer and then transfer it to the oven, depending how thick of a chop you have, But then again, using the Crock-pot as well, like, pulled pork, we use pork shoulders for that. But you can also use pork tenderloin if you're looking to cut a lot of the fat and not lose any flavor. The pork tenderloins still keep a nice flavor profile in there, and you're not having so much fat around. It cuts a lot of that out, and you taste more of the pork and whatever sauces and spices you're using.
Listen, pork sliders, pork chops, chicken, you name it, seafood, that air fryer can get it done. But let me ask you, by the way, we're talking air fryer and crock-pot recipes. If you have a recipe or two, share it with us now. You may get a $25 gift certificate. Always a good idea to call early as we are just underway and our lines are available. 866-391-1020. Are there certain things that the air fryer can't do better than a crock-pot?
Well, it's not so much a crock-pot. It's totally different, but there are things that from an air fryer can't do that a regular fryer can do. So if you have a wet batter on something, say you want to do beer battered haddock like we do at the stores.
Right.
So you can't put that in an air fryer like that. You have to use the breadings because it drips. It doesn't, where a regular fryer, as soon as you put it in there, it starts sealing right away on the outside of that, and it's not dripping all over the place. Where if you put it in an air fryer, it starts dripping and it just make a mess. You need to use more of the dryer, or if you're using a mix to make the beer batter, use that dry mix instead. Marinate the fish or marinate chicken for a day or for a few hours first, and then use a breading or a seasoned flour as a batter. And putting that in the air fryer, because the wet batters just don't work. That's the biggest difference between that, But between a crock pot and the air fryer, you can utilize both. So if you're going to be making, let's say you're going to put a chuck roast into the crock pot and make a nice roast out of that, but usually you brown it on the oven. You can use the air fryer, put it in there. You don't have to flip it because it's cooking on both sides, especially if you have the one on the shelves, it's right in the middle of it. So it's going to cook on both sides with no problem. Brown the outside of it and then put it into the crock pot. It'll keep its shape better, plus keep some of those juices inside where they would really break down and give that more tender roast.
All right, let's get going. This is your chance to call in and get that gift certificate possibly, but you got to call in with either a crock pot or an air fryer recipe. We've actually never have done these two topics for one show, so you have a great opportunity to give us a call, 866-391-1020. And don't forget McKnight Road, Hopewell, Ingomar, Banksville Road, Beulah Road, Bellevue, Highwood Street, and Ferguson Road, all open for business for your Sunday, Fun Day, Sauce Day, and Family Dinner Day. How do you find the one nearest you? Click on coonsmarket.com.
Your source for the AccuWeather forecast. Hear it on News Radio KDKA.
Help keep our community safe and healthy during National Prescription Drug Take-Back Day, April 25th. Find a collection site near you at DEATakeback.com. Do your part to lower overdose deaths and prevent drug misuse before it starts.
The biggest reason Metropolitan Window Company has been in business since 1978 is our huge list of satisfied customers.
John, Maggie, and Justin Schmutzer here from Metropolitan Window Company, Pittsburgh's locally owned and family-operated window and door company for over 47 years.
When you choose Metropolitan Window Company, you're getting expertise and attention to detail from a trusted business that puts your needs first.
You're also getting our exclusive Infinity from Marvin 100% fiberglass windows that are built for life.
The most important part of a window is the framing. Fiberglass frames won't lose their dimensional integrity. They're the strongest, longest-lasting window you can buy.
And right now, you can save 20% and get financing on every window and door product we offer.
Stop by one of our showrooms, visit us at metropolitanwindows.com, or give us a call at 412-655-8411.
PA 1565.
Starting a home improvement project? Before you build a deck, plant a tree, or put up a fence, remember to call 811. Professionals from underground utilities like Peoples will mark your lines with flags so you can dig safely. Whether you're doing the work yourself or hiring a professional, calling 811 before you dig is free for homeowners. And it's the law. Call 811 3 days before you dig to keep you and your family safe. Peoples, an essential utilities company.
Carpal tunnel syndrome, heart failure that doesn't improve with common medicines. These are some signs and symptoms associated with ATTR-CM, or the cardiomyopathy of ATTR amyloidosis, a serious heart condition with symptoms that get worse over time. Amvuttra, vutrisiran, is a prescription medicine given by a healthcare provider that treats ATTR-CM in adults to reduce heart-related death, hospital stays, and urgent visits. In a clinical study, Amvuttra was proven to help people live longer and have fewer heart-related hospital stays and urgent visits over 3 years compared to placebo. Amvuttra lowers the amount of vitamin A in your blood, which can affect vision. Other side effects include pain in the arms or legs, pain in the joints, and shortness of breath. These are not all the possible side effects of Amvuttra. For prescribing information, call 1-833-256-2748 or learn more at amvuttra.com. Ask your doctor about Amvuttra for ATTR-CM.
The KDKA radio text line is driven by Kenny Ross Auto Group. Find your best deal and Pittsburgh's best warranty at kennyross.com.
Listen to KDKA Radio on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, or TuneIn apps.
The diet can continue Monday. This is the Coons Cooking Hour on 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
All right, let's get going. Air fryer and slow cookers, crock-pot recipes today. Someone's going to get that gift certificate, but you got to get on the phone lines and call us, 866-391-1020. Here is Chad, somewhere downtown. Chad, how are you? Good morning. Welcome to KDKA.
I'm well, sir. Thanks for taking the call. So this is real easy. Pork roast in the crock-pot, depending on your size of the crock-pot. And honestly, a can of either ginger ale or root beer, either one. You can have your barbecue later. It makes it really, really tender, breaks apart. And it's something I learned many years ago when I was serving in the military. Someone gave me that, idea, and it's wonderful. Easy.
And that's the key, utilizing these little these tools and make it easier and quicker. Yeah, not even just some of them. It's usually not standing by and babysitting, but yeah, it's great idea, great recipe and time saving.
Chad, appreciate the call, buddy. You're a first-time caller. We love to hear from first-time callers. 866-391-1020. I was thinking about slow cookers, and I remember when they came on the scene, kind of like microwaves. It was such a big deal. But the air fryer really has taken it to a new level, has it not, Frank?
The air fryer really did. Because, back when you're frying at home, you utilize oil. It takes a lot of oil. You got to filter out that oil. You can't dump the oil down the drain. You have to, find a way to get rid of it at the end of the day. And while you're frying, it just makes a mess of your kitchen. Everything's greasy when you're done. Not to mention when you're eating, it's greasy when you're eating it. Yes, it tastes wonderful, but there has to be an easier way where the air fryer doesn't have any of that. It's close to the fryer. It's not exactly like the fryer. You're going to have a better taste out of the fryer, in my opinion, with fried chicken and all that. But an air fryer can come close and be able to bring you something that's a little bit healthier and something you don't have to feel greasy after you eat it. You don't, it makes a difference when you have less oil like that. As much as we love the fried foods and French fries and all that, the air fryer can come very close. And with and especially as they keep making new ones and improving things, and people have learned them throughout the years. Tips and tricks on those, which we'd love to hear some of those today too. Tips and tricks to make things, better, like little things I've used it for at home. Just that, like the meatballs I talked about. That's a big time saver for me. And some of it is using the air fryer instead of using the microwave. Where a microwave is great, it's fast, but when you're really trying to cook in it, because it cooks from the outside in, the ends tend to be overcooked and get rubbery or tough or dried out, where the air fryer is going to be that more oven, but less time.
All right, 866-391-1020, air fryer and crock-pot recipes. Here's John in Washington, wants to talk leg of lamb. Go ahead, John.
Hello. This was more apropos for last week, but a caller, I forget her name, it's Mary Lee, had a detailed, complicated, and looked like a really flavorful recipe for leg of lamb. Mine is simple, crock-pot, 3.5 to 4 pounds of bone-in leg of lamb, And what you do is you slather it with olive oil, and use a paring knife and jab all over it, about half an inch. And you insert in there the shaved garlic cloves and shaved rosemary leaves. And again, put more olive oil on it, put it in the crock pot, and on low for 4.5 to 5 hours. And the last couple hours.
Uh-oh, we lost John. John, call back. Leg of lamb, though. Talk about leg of lamb.
Yeah, a lot of people have them during the holidays, as much, but I'm sure it's people have more often. We sell them, so I know they move throughout the year. But that's a great idea in the crock pot. Number one, if you're worried about it being tough, that's not going to do it. On the leg, it's going to be a little bit tougher than what that is if it's not done right, because of the muscles there. But putting that, number one, putting the garlic slits, which you hear a lot on lamb and that and rosemary, but especially the garlic putting the slits and putting it inside, there's a reason for it. It's going to bring the flavor inside, but it's also going to help sweeten it and tenderize it as well with that garlic melting into there. And from what I heard from Doug, today's National Garlic Day, so it's a good day to bring that up. Garlic is one of those unique things that, while you're eating it, it does have a sweeter flavor to it, a stronger flavor, and everybody knows you had it afterwards, without the use of Listerine afterwards or anything like that. And then you start sweating it out. But boy, does it taste good, especially homegrown, like a homegrown.
Listen, all you need to do is get some of that Bellevue jalapeno mustard. You'll sweat.
You can dip your garlic cloves in it.
Listen, I can't wait till 10 o'clock today because I get the hour break. First thing I did at 2:30 this morning, in that little pantry in the kitchen, I got out a fresh bottle of jalapeno and I got some Schneider of Hanover pretzels. So I'm anticipating at 10 o'clock. Oh, listen, I can't.
Make sure you got a drink with that.
I do. I cannot believe that jalapeno mustard. I have like 6 bottles in my house right now. It's that good. I love it. I love it. I love it. And if you're going to tailgate at home, getting ready for the draft this week, I'm telling you, we have all the things you need at Coons Market, McKnight Road, Banks Road. We have that Iron City draft. Everybody's talking about that beer. But Frank and I were talking about this. I want to bring this up. So as I'm coming to work today, 330, 376, Marriott, Courtyard, all these hotels along the way, the Hilton, Garden Inn, all of them, packed. Buses. So a lot of the crews are already here getting ready because the stage is up. It's going to be epic. But if you're coming in, you got a player that may be drafted, you're a family member, you're a player, you're in one of these hotels, or you're somebody coming in from the suburbs or West Virginia, Ohio, Maryland, wherever, you want to save some money, but you just want to be a part of that draft experience in the parking lots that are open, go to Banksville, go to Highwood, all sorts of grab-and-go food. If you're coming in 279 McKnight Road, and get yourself a cooler and bring it in and make it one big tailgate, you realize you're going to have a better selection and you're going to save a lot of money if you visit Coons Market during the week that is the draft week, which starts this week.
It is, and we have a lot of interesting different foods for grab and go. We have a lot of different, beers and wines and hard ciders, hard seltzers, great variety of even the non-alcoholic wines and beers that has been growing because that's where the trend is. A lot of the younger people have switched to a non-alcoholic, so and still getting that flavor of beer. So yeah, stop on by if you're from out of town. We're one of the only, if not the only, independent that's out there. A lot of the other cities, have a great representation of independent grocers in there, whereas you find unique items that are specific for the city of Pittsburgh. When you go to the big chains, you don't really get that same atmosphere as you go, and even the big chains, they don't change towards the neighborhoods. They change they go with here's what you put out, and this is what we carry. Where we change. You go to each one of our stores. We have 8 locations. You go to each one of our stores. We're going to sell something a little bit different. All the same current stuff and all that, but then there's going to be some unique flavors and some unique foods that we open up to let the chefs that we have, the bakers, the decorators, and even in the grocery side, specialty foods and some unique international foods that you don't find. And, I found even personally shopping and looking at competitors and comparing them to us, stores 3 times as big. And yet we have a better selection in grocery.
No doubt about it. We got the buying power, we got relationships, and we've got everything you need every day. like today at Coons Market, a Pittsburgh tradition. Next hour, storm damage, misconceptions on what to do when a tree falls on your property, and what does homeowners insurance actually cover. Just Carlos, Greater Pitt Tree Service, next hour. But right now, Crock-pot and slow cooker, meaning that delicious, well, maybe rice pudding, something else you might be thinking about, or air fryer, like some chicken strips. I'll tell you, that does a great job, air fryer with chicken strips too. But we want to hear from you. Give us your recipes. We got Kathy in Greensburg, chicken and rice. That's a slow cooker or an air fryer. Could be either. All of that still to come today on the Coons Cooking Hour, KDKA.
Hi, Paul Alexander here to let you know that KDKA has planned a fabulous 5-day Arizona getaway this September, and it's filling up fast. My wife, Shelley, and I want you to join us for an unforgettable trip based in beautiful Flagstaff, a relaxed mountain town that makes the perfect home base. From there, we'll explore the incredible red rocks of Sedona, travel by rail to the breathtaking Grand Canyon, a bucket list spot that everyone needs to see at least once. And then we'll take in the stunning scenery around Lake Powell with its deep blue water and wide open views. It's the perfect mix of sightseeing, natural beauty, and plenty of time to just enjoy where we are. And September is truly the sweet spot. Comfortable weather, no summer crowds, and everything planned for you. No guessing, no stress. Just show up and enjoy Arizona. Space is limited. Seats are disappearing quickly. Visit travelwithkdk.com or call 800-383-3131. Again, travel with KDK.com or call 800-383-3131. Can't wait to see you there.
April's the perfect time to refresh your home with beautiful custom window treatments from Lacina Drapery and Blind Factory. Lacina makes custom products in their own Pittsburgh factory. 60 years of quality craftsmanship, draperies, blinds, shades, shutters, and upholstery. Low factory direct prices. Go to LacinaDrapery.com, shop Lacina's pre-shop at home service. Visit their showrooms or call 412-665-4900. Lacina Drapery and Blind Factory. Quality you deserve, prices you'll appreciate.
Pittsburgh is on the clock. Our comprehensive draft coverage is powered by Bowser Chevrolet. It's more than just the players. It's the vibe of the city. Where to go? What to do? We have you covered. It's presented by Target Freight Management and brought to you by your local AAA travel office and by Groundworks, formerly Baker's Waterproofing. On the voice of Pittsburgh, 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA. From the Aetna Medicare Studios.
Proud to be the voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
It is 43 degrees, Pittsburgh International at 8:30. I'm Rob Taylor. 13 people have been displaced from their homes after a fire broke out this morning in Allentown. Fire crews were called to the 1500 block of Arlington Avenue early this morning for a house fire. The main house that caught on fire was unoccupied. That fire spread to other homes, and as mentioned, now 13 people have been displaced from their homes in Arlington, or rather in Allentown. Stay with News Radio KDK for more on this developing story. No injuries were reported following a sizable house fire in McKees Rocks. This fire broke out Saturday afternoon around 4:45 at a home in the 300 block of Olivia Street. The right side of that home was charred by fire. A United Airlines flight from Chicago to New York made a diversion to Pittsburgh International Airport Saturday morning due to a, quote, possible security issue. When the plane landed around 11:45 Saturday morning, many passengers quickly evacuated via the emergency slides. There were 159 passengers and 6 crew members on board. FBI Pittsburgh office sent its special agent bomb techs and special agents to the scene. Allegheny County Police Bomb Squad has said its explosive ordnance disposal team and canines conducted a sweep of the plane, the passengers, and luggage with negative results. No injuries were reported. The woman who died in a shooting in Braddock on Saturday morning has been identified. Allegheny County Medical Examiner's Office identified her as 26-year-old Quinn Vinay. Police say a suspect fired shots at a group of people from across the street around 2 o'clock Saturday morning near the Club Elegance on Braddock Avenue. 3 people were shot. Vinay later died. 2 others were transported to the hospital. Police have not publicly identified a suspect as of yet. KDK Radio News Time, 8:32. AccuWeather forecast coming up.
A luxury vacation home where the only decision is pool time or beach time. Your own private indoor pool, a real movie theater, a kitchen big enough for everyone to cook together. Whether it's a deep water dock on the lake or a private path to the ocean, SWAC Vacation Rentals has the place where this summer's memories are made. And when you book direct, you skip the extra platform fees and you get the best price. Give yourself something better to look forward to this year. Let's be honest, you've earned it. Visit SWAC, SWACK vacations.com.
If you want to know how good it feels to get professional paint work inside your home, go with CertaPro Painters. Hi, this is Larry Richard, and a big opportunity right now. Take advantage of the spring sales event for 10% off qualifying projects through May 15th. And remember, each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated right here in our community. Schedule your free estimate online at CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C. When choosing a painting professional, the choice is simple. Choose happy. Choose CertaPro Painters.
At EasyCater, we believe every workday gets better with great food. Like that morning status meeting. Always better with bagels. And don't forget the coffee. Ops team working late? How about some Power Bowls to keep them going strong? Sandy's celebrating 10 years at the company. This calls for cupcakes. With EasyCater, you get a huge variety of favorite restaurants with tools to help meet dietary needs and stay on budget, all on one platform. So make every workday better with EasyCater. Start an order at easycater.com.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance tech at a university, he knows ordering from multiple suppliers takes time away from keeping their arena up and running. That's why he counts on Grainger to get everything he needs, from lighting and HVAC parts to plumbing supplies, all in one place. And with fast, dependable delivery, he's stocked and ready for the next tip-off. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Attention. Have you racked up $10,000 or more in credit card debt? Are you barely getting by making minimum payments? With credit card debt reaching all-time highs, National Debt Relief is notifying consumers about significant debt relief options currently being made available to help those with overwhelming credit card debt. These options may reduce a large portion of credit card debt for those who qualify. You don't need to declare bankruptcy or take out a consolidation loan, and you may only have to pay back a fraction of what you owe, even if you have bad credit. National Debt Relief has already reduced the credit card debt for more than 550,000 consumers. So don't wait. If you owe $10,000, $20,000, or even $100,000 in credit card debt, you can now take advantage of this financial debt relief as the cost of living continues to skyrocket. To check what debt reduction you may qualify for, call 800-358-6868. That's 800-358-6868. Again, 800-358-6868.
The KDKA AccuWeather forecast is brought to you by JP Roofing and Siding, Pittsburgh's #1 Platinum Preferred Roofing Replacement Contractor. Call 412-829-7711.
Watch for a shower or two early and late in the day today. Otherwise, generally cloudy with a high of 52. Then colder for tonight with another shower around late and a low of 32. That leads to tomorrow, which brings in some cold conditions with some sun and a high of 47. But warmer Tuesday with more sun around, high 64. For AccuWeather, I'm LaTroy Thornton, 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
The following program is paid for by Coons Quality Market. The diet can continue Monday. This is the Coons Cooking Hour on 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
Don't forget all your tree-related questions coming up with Carlos from Greater Pitt Tree Service next hour. Then it's Accurate Solutions. Then Coons Market's Black and Gold Sunday show is the countdown to the draft officially underway. But right now, air fryer and crock-pot recipes. Kathy in Greensburg, thanks for holding on and welcome to KDKA. Good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Okay, go ahead.
Hello.
Yeah.
Okay, my crock-pot recipe. You get a cup of rice, put in your crock-pot. You get a cream of chicken soup, put in your crock-pot. You get the package, the onion beef dried soup package, put in your crock-pot, along with 2 cups of water. Mix all that together, lay on the top of it your favorite chicken pieces. It's very tasty and very easy to do. That's it.
It's nice. You're cooking the entree and the side all in one, and they're using the flavors from that chicken, and yeah, it's just great.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Let's go to Peter in Crafton. Good morning, Peter.
Good morning, gentlemen. Not a recipe, but there were times that I bought prepared food. I found a place from this woman does it in Mount Lebanon, and the food is delicious. And all you have to do is just heat it up in the microwave, and it's very, very good. It's all handmade. I was wondering, you have prepared food at Coons, and I was just wondering if you talk about that compared to, companies that you buy prepared food from. Some aren't that great, and some are very good. But I just thought maybe you'd know the difference between what you serve at the store and pack up compared to the companies that have prepared foods already. Martha Stewart has them. What's his name? Has them. But I was just wondering the difference.
Yeah, I mean, we've been growing that category for us, a lot of the to-go foods, and working with our guy that takes care of our delis, Clint. He's been working on expanding those, and we've been talking to vendors, different vendors too, to get food that is restaurant quality in the meats that are already cut in portions, so that we can make our meals a little bit quicker, but with that restaurant quality meats and seafoods. And that's kind of that's the direction we've been going. I mean, we've been adding some new things like street tacos is one of them that we pack up. That's something a little bit different, we could go out there and buy a kit that we just assemble at the store, but here we do it ourselves at the store. Gets our cost down, and we control what's in it. Because what happens when you buy these prepared foods, like you see in the frozen sections, or we can buy and repack, the salt content is unbelievable, and they're not actually the flavor. Like you said, they're not the flavor. And keeping in mind that, any of these foods that are ready microwavable are going to be cooked a second time. So they have to be prepared right from the start, so that when you reheat them, when you heat them at home, it doesn't come off as, well, this tastes like a leftover. It needs to be cooked to the right temperatures first, like almost like a par cooked, undercooked a little bit, so that when you go to reheat it, it finishes it cooking and tastes right. So a lot of that we've been working on developing. There's new items coming all the time. And I'm looking this week what we have this week. Oh yeah, we have a quarter pound. It's a quarter pound. This new crab cake that we're selling. It's imitation crab, so you get the right can get that right price, but a little bit bigger than things that we've sold, and a little better quality than what we've had in the past. So I mean, we carry herkies all the time. We've moved over to our meat departments, and this is going to be in the delis, and trying to let people taste them. We've been working on different pepperoni rolls and trying to work through some of those to come up with our own recipe to work with. There are as everyone sees, there's always labor shortages, so you're looking for ways to make it easy for them to cook without having to rely on a professional chef beyond just where they are in our kitchen now. When you come in the evening, we have people that can do prep and all that and training in that. And so it's our focus to be as fresh as possible and find the vendors to find the right products, because what our goal is to be a restaurant quality inside the store. So you can pick that up like you went and ate at any one of these restaurants. And instead of getting it from one of the delivery services and getting it lukewarm or cold and worrying if someone ate it on the way, you can get something that's restaurant quality, you heat up and just put in the microwave, heat it up, and just like you're at the restaurant. Of course, not the atmosphere of a restaurant, but that's our goal, to get there, and we're working on a lot more of this. We have all the meals and stuff in the stores now. It's just working on different things that are stepping up the quality, again, for the consumer. It's just me and my wife at home, and that's what I base things on. For one or two people at home, it's really hard to cook all the time without eating the same thing for 3 or 4 days. So, in some of these meals, so you don't have to eat out, because eating out it's not cheap. And, enjoying something at home.
No, it's not cheap. I find out that the one I get, I'm able to control the salt content, which I like, and other things they do for me. the other companies, it's hard to do that to. And yes, it is a little expensive, but I don't do it all the time. But I do it when, say, I come home from dialysis. I'm really exhausted. A meal like that in the microwave is not too bad. The chicken is always juicy, so I found this company pretty good. And it helps me out so I can eat and then go take a rest.
No, I agree.
So I don't have to run around the kitchen.
Yeah, you look at it's expensive to eat out, or sometimes you don't feel like even going out, and so but you don't want to miss that. You don't want to, sacrifice quality and just a higher quality protein, a higher quality in the way it's cooked. You want that flavor still. You don't want to taste like it's some leftover from wherever, and it's not. Cooking 7 days a week, it's hard. I don't know how my mom did it all the time. She did. She cooked 7 days a week. That was hard. That's a lot of work. It takes somebody that's, like a mom or a dad that stays home to do all that, because to be able to do that after work and all the crazy shifts and things that kids have today, it's hard to do that, so supplementing times when you come home and you're tired, or you just want to sit down and relax, or there's a good game that's going to be on TV and you don't want to go out and sit inside some bar down. You want to be able to enjoy a nice meal but watch the game, so you're not in the kitchen heating up the kitchen and doing that while the game's on. So there's different things beyond budget that make sense to do. And I call them the in-between meals, really, because there's restaurant, there's cooking yourself, and these are those in-betweens, and you're trying to get the best quality, which is that's our target. That's exactly what our target's been. Looking at our ads, you'll see some of those that have been coming in, and you'll start seeing a lot more. We've been really stepped up our game, doing some other visits to vendors, suppliers, and actually competitors not in this market to see what they're doing and buy their food and taste it, and then see what we can do to improve it.
All right. Thank you for the call, Pete. Hang in there, bud. Always good to hear from you. Billy Joe, we're going to get to him. Chicka Ala King. I haven't heard that in a long time. So stay with us, 866-391-1020. We're going to take a short break, come back on the other side. Love to hear from you at 866-391-1020.
It's the little things. The information you need. People you know. The little things that make a big difference. The voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
Aetna has been my lifesaver. Easy to understand, and if not, customer service is always there to help.
Those words from a real Aetna Medicare Advantage member speak to why U.S. News & World Report named us a best Medicare Advantage company. Because we show up with care management that ensures doctors work together on complicated conditions. We show up with the latest in online tools to make healthcare easier to use anytime. We show up for you, because that's how healthier happens together. Member feedback has been edited for length and clarity.
If you or anyone you care about is facing a family legal matter, call Cordell & Cordell today at 1-855-GET-LEGAL or visit CordellCordell.com to schedule your consultation.
There's a lot on the line in divorce. This is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell, the largest family law firm in the country, with over 35 years of helping clients navigate divorce. But being big doesn't mean less personal or less local. Our attorneys live and work in your community, and as neighbors, they understand the challenges your families face. Divorce touches all areas of your life: your home, savings, retirement, and of course, kids. So when you find yourself facing divorce, you need a partner you can count on. Visit CordellCordell.com to schedule your consultation.
If you or anyone you care about is facing divorce, contact Cordell & Cordell today. With over 100,000 clients served, we understand the challenges you're facing on a personal level. Call Cordell & Cordell today at 1-855-GET-LEGAL. That's 1-855-GET-LEGAL. Pittsburgh and Cranberry Township. Joseph Cordell, licensed in Missouri and Illinois.
Straight Talk Wireless presents Pickup Truck Wisdom.
Trust is earned. That's why I've stuck with Straight Talk. Same price since 2009 on Verizon's 5G network. Cause shoot, anyone can make a promise. Keeping it for years, that means something.
Now plans starting at $25 a month with 4 lines. Find us at straighttalk.com and Walmart. Straight Talk Wireless. Straightforward. Always. Same price claim applies only to the base monthly price of our $45 plan from October 2009 to present.
And Doug. There's nowhere I wouldn't go to help someone customize and save on car insurance with Liberty Mutual, even if it means playing in a football game. Boom!
42!
You're going down, Doug.
Oh, yeah? Your price on car insurance when you customize and save is going down.
Hey!
Limu? What are you doing on their team? Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty. SchultzFord.com. 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 SchultzFord.com.
The diet can continue Monday. This is the Coons Cooking Hour on 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
Air fryer and crock-pot recipes. Been a great show. We have a little time left. If you want to get in under the wire to get qualified to win a $25 gift certificate, now's the time for you to give us a call. So Billy Joe, she has got a chicken a la king recipe. And Billy Joe, I haven't heard that since I was a small child. That was a big night for us. My mother would make it once in a while, but I absolutely love chicken a la king. Good morning and welcome to the Coons Cooking Hour on KDKA.
Good morning, and thank you. Yes, it's nostalgic for me also. My grandmother used to make it all the time, and I incorporated it into a crock pot so that when I'm working, I can come home and enjoy it when, we get off work. My husband's gluten-free, so this is a gluten-free recipe. He has celiac, so a lot of our cooking does involve that. So it's almost anyone can enjoy it at this point. I take 3 tablespoons of butter, half of an onion, half a stalk of celery diced, about a half a cup. I take some salt, just to your liking. I don't really measure it. 8 ounces of mushrooms or sliced mushrooms, half a teaspoon of pepper, and 3 tablespoons of flour. Of course, like I said, I use a gluten-free flour. A cup of the low-sodium chicken broth, and then 3/4 cup of heavy cream. 2 cups of diced or shredded cooked chicken. Even if you have a rotisserie chicken, you could use that up as well. Half a cup of frozen peas and carrots. And then I put all that in a crock pot for about 8 hours, and I just let that simmer, the chicken and all. Just put it all in there. I usually use frozen chicken, the chicken tenderloins even. It doesn't matter. Whatever the chicken is, I put it in there. I leave it in there for 8 hours. After I come home, I break it up if it's the frozen chicken that I put in there in the morning. Make it into like a shredded chicken. If you're using the rotisserie chicken or any of that, it does the same thing. So you break it apart. I'll put in about a tablespoon of cornstarch and water, cold water, mix that and throw that in there to thicken it a little bit. And then just serve it over rice or mashed potatoes. I like mine the old way over toast, but however you want to do it. And it's a great comfort food as well, especially in the winter.
Excellent.
Yeah, and excellent. In the winter it'd be perfect, but just putting that over, nice toasted bread, get a nice thick slice.
Talk about nostalgia, Billy Joe. You'll appreciate this, and Frank, you too. But I'm old enough to remember when cafeterias became mainstream. Up to the first 6 grades of school, we brown bagged it, but then I got to what was the junior high school, which was like the big time. They had a cafeteria, and I remember anticipating chicken a la king because I knew they were going to have it. It was something I'd never had before. Then my mother would duplicate it, whatever. But that was the most, and I've always loved school cafeteria food, hospital food. Don't know why, but I always have. But chicken a la king, as soon as I saw that on the screen today, it just brought back a whole lot of joy. Wasn't that special when you had chicken a la king, Billy Joe?
Absolutely. My mother even had, I think back in the 70s, the boiling bags that the bankers make the boiling bags that you put in the water. I haven't seen it, but that's what made me want to try and find a recipe or figure out a recipe that I could incorporate to make because I was so hungry for that taste. And this hits the spot in my eyes. So it works out really well, and my husband can enjoy it also. So it all works.
Good stuff. Billy Joe, have a great day. Appreciate it very much. Asian cooking, which happens to be one of my favorites, air fryers, slow cookers, really perfect for that. From egg rolls to any type of rice, really a good way to prepare Asian cuisine. Crock pots and air fryers, right?
Yes, with the crock pots especially, and you can cook some nice things in there. The air fryer, you can utilize that as well. It takes a little bit of tricks because they're used to wok cooking, but utilizing the tray and the flavors and the different sesame oils on that, you can actually figure a way. Or even if you're doing stir fry, you're doing the protein, you can fry it up in the air fryer, mix the vegetables, let them cook, and then mix them together here at the end. It'll give you a little different of a sear. But yes, there's ways to institute those as well, or just heating up egg rolls. I don't make egg rolls from scratch. I remember back in elementary school, we had one of the students, she was Philippine, and I remember one of the days they had, bring in food from home or whatever it was, and she brought in these egg rolls they made from scratch, and oh my goodness, were they good.
I know.
Oh my goodness.
A little crispy on the ends. Ooh.
Yeah, and they, that's a lot of people with the ethnic backgrounds, especially ones that have, immigrated here recently, do a lot of cooking at home. They don't, because number one, the way they cook, you'll never find it in a restaurant. But obviously they're feeding a lot of family too, and they do a lot more cooking than us Americans do. Us Americans have gotten a little bit lazy on the cooking side, But as I've seen with the younger crowd, and you've seen it with your son and daughter, was more of that cooking at home and taking it on. My one daughter, especially Brianna, one of the twins, she'll actually text me over recipes that she's tried. And a lot of it is because she says she's living in an apartment. She says it's expensive, so she takes advantage of deals and sales and that. And she'll send over this recipe that she put together, just utilizing her cooktop and the oven. Just amazing what they're learning to do, because they're actually, most of the time they go pull up a YouTube video or something they've seen on Facebook or Instagram or TikTok and go ahead and if it sounds good, they try it. A lot more than us. The older people relied mostly on, like I do, on recipe books, something that's physically in print. Now I look some things up on the internet, but for me it's easier. Out of the recipe book, it's just cost prohibitive to own every single one of them, because that's what I would do. I would buy all of them. But
I get it.
But the younger ones, they look up they use the technology and adjust it to their flavors, and it's great to see.
All right, coming up next hour, all of your tree-related questions. It's Carlos from Greater Pitt Tree Service. We're going to talk storm damage, misconceptions of what to do when a tree falls on your property, and what does your homeowner's insurance cover. So if you have any of those questions, you can start dialing early and often, 866-391-1020. And when we come back, we will draw this week's winner of a $25 gift certificate from Coons Market. All of our stores are open today. Coons Market, a Pittsburgh tradition.
The Big K Morning Show with Larry Richards.
Pittsburgh Mayor Corey O'Connor, very atypical with the NFL draft and all the things that are going on.
We're all excited. It's coming fast. But we also want Pittsburghers, and I say this wherever I go, this is also your city, this is your draft. We're going to have hundreds of thousands of people coming from across the country, but we want Pittsburghers to be ambassadors.
Weekday mornings 5:30 to 10 on the Voice of Pittsburgh, 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
The Village at St. Barnabas, the perfect place for moms.
Here's the latest from the KDKA Community Message Board.
Obsessed with pizza? So are they at Slice on Broadway. The 2025 winner of World's Best Cheese Pizza Slice is right here in the Berg with 6 Pittsburgh locations, always serving delicious New York-style pizza, hoagies, and salads. Order yours today. Visit sliceonbroadway.com. Happy home improvement season from Allegiant Community Federal Credit Union. Home equity loan rates are as low as 5.25%. For full terms and to see if you qualify, visit allegiantfcu.org. Membership eligibility required. Equal housing lender. Federally insured by the NCUA. Schley Deck and Fence Company. Call today for an estimate on your rotten, rusted, paint chipping railings. Get your railings safe again. Call 412-515-6575.
Details at kdkaradio.com.
Dreaming of your next getaway? AAA Travel makes it easy with a wide variety of vacation options, from exciting cruises and guided tours to relaxing, all-inclusive resorts. Want to skip the airport? Ask about their no-fly cruises. Just hop on a comfortable motor coach from the Pittsburgh area to nearby ports like New York or New Jersey. Then set sail stress-free. No flying, no driving, just vacation. program. Visit your local AAA office or call 1-800-354-8761 to start planning today.
I'm Ultima Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Every time one of my children started driving, it was terrifying. I am quite aware of the dangers being on the road. Thousands of accidents happen across the country. We see it every day. These families' lives will be changed in an instant. We fight for these families as if they were our own. We've become America's largest injury law firm by winning cases just like these. If you've been injured in a car accident, call us.
Injured? Dial pound law or visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA, covered by JP Roofing and Siding, Pittsburgh's #1 platinum roofing company. Listen to KDKA Radio on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, or TuneIn apps.
The diet can continue Monday. This is the Coons Cooking Hour on 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
And by the way, coming up on this program next week, pork, your best recipe inside and outside grill or smoker. And boy, that season is fast approaching, is it not? But time to draw this week's winner of that $25 gift certificate from Coons Market. And your winning person is?
This week's winner is Chad from downtown Pittsburgh.
So if you're headed downtown, you're going to be downtown, you want to save some money and maybe buy souvenirs with the money you save for the draft, please explain Banksville Road, Highwood Street on the north side, even McKnight Road if you're coming in 279. But any of our stores, 65, Bellevue being another store, Beaver County, Hopewell, Ferguson Road, Beulah Road. Get into Coons Market and stock up. And, of course, that beautiful store that will be this summer, just about the time that they're getting ready to tee off for another season, Bellevue. So really exciting stuff. Go ahead, Frank.
Well, any one of our locations, you're going to be coming into town a little bit early for the draft, and you have some time that you're going to have outside in the lot, hopefully good weather. Well, pick up a 2-foot hoagie. If you and your friends enjoy a nice 2-foot hoagie, if you're going to Banksville McKnight, pick up a 6-pack or up to 2 6-packs of beer, or your favorite seltzers or your favorite wines. Pick those up on the way and save yourself some time, or you can place an order in our delis and pick up some fried chicken, some chicken wings, those kind of snack foods that you can bring with you, and you can tell everybody that's yours. That's fine with us, but we're going to give you a high quality product that you can just absolutely deliver. That'll be absolutely delicious, and you'll come back for more. I guarantee it.
All right, listen, have a great rest of your day, Frank. Always a pleasure getting caught up with you, and until next time, enjoy.
Have a good Sunday.
All right, stay with us. Rob's coming up next with that news. We have a busy day, lots of stuff to get to. Now, coming up next hour, Carlos is here, Greater Pitt Tree Service. Storm damage, misconceptions of what to do when a tree falls on your property, and what does your home insurance actually cover? Give us a call right now, 866-391-1020. Rob with the news, and then it's Carlos, Greater Pitt Tree Service on our Sunday here at KDKA, 100.1 FM, AM 1020. Good morning. It's 9 o'clock.
The preceding program was paid for by Coons Quality Market.
KDKA and KDKA FM HD2 Pittsburgh. W261AX Pittsburgh.
Always live on the free Odyssey app. From the Aetna Medicare studios.
Proud to be the voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
It is 45 degrees Pittsburgh International at 9 o'clock. I'm Rob Taylor. 13 people have been displaced from their homes following a fire that broke out this morning in Allentown. Fire crews were called to the 1500 block of Arlington Avenue for a house fire. The main house that caught on fire was unoccupied and condemned, but that fire spread to other homes. Right now, no injuries have been reported, and as mentioned, that this hour, 13 people have been displaced from their homes in Allentown. A United Airlines flight from Chicago to New York made a diversion to Pittsburgh International Airport Saturday morning due to a possible security issue. When the plane landed around 11:45, many passengers quickly evacuated via the emergency slides. Now, there were 159 passengers and 6 crew members on board. FBI Pittsburgh office sent its Special Agent bomb techs and special agents to the scene. And the Allegheny County Police Bomb Squad said its explosive ordnance disposal team and canines conducted a sweep of the plane, the passengers, and luggage with negative results. No injuries were reported. Now, a person was stabbed after police say that person broke into a home in Brookline. This incident happened Saturday in the 2700 block of Waddington Avenue. Police say the person broke into a home through a screen door and then punched the homeowner. That homeowner then allegedly stabbed that person in the arm. An investigation revealed that the person who allegedly broke into the home was a neighbor, and it all stemmed over a dispute over money. Both people were taken to the hospital. The person who allegedly broke into the home and was stabbed is facing burglary and assault charges. KDKA Radio News Time is 9:02. It's time to visit RomeMonuments.com. Life is a journey to remember. Memorialize that journey. RomeMonuments.com. We've got the AccuWeather forecast next.
When you're handling an estate or an inherited home, the decisions can feel overwhelming. At Home Buyers of Pittsburgh, we help families through this every single week. We make a quick, fair cash offer on the home, coordinate any cleanouts, help you through the process, and we'll buy it in its current condition. No pressure, no surprises. Visit homebuyersoftpittsburgh.com or call 412-500-9057 for help selling today. That's 412-500-9057 for help selling today.
Home Buyers of Pittsburgh, Pittsburgh's local trusted home buyer since 2015.
Here's a tale of Tina searching up and down for decent GLP-1s, but got spun around.
Till GoodRx wrote in, hey, we got something new. GLP-1 prescriptions, all FDA approved.
Brand name meds, no flags that are red.
Clear pricing from the start. None of those hidden fees in your cart.
Delivered to your door or pick up same day. Darn tootin'.
Save time and money on prescriptions.
I'd put it to goodrx.com/weight loss. GoodRx is not insurance.
Are you paying too much for term life insurance? A man age 50 non-tobacco user can obtain $500,000 of coverage for as little as $110 per month, level rate for 20 years. That's right, guaranteed level rate for 20 years. Call Term Busters for a quote, 1-800-908-7636. You're probably paying more than you should. Call 1-800-908-7636. Sample rate for preferred non-tobacco rate class, exam required to qualify. For details, call 1-800-908-7636. Paid for by Robert Livinger, Insurance Agent.
Life is a way of throwing out curveballs that can make it feel impossible to get ahead. But at Peoples, we know that sometimes a helping hand can make all the difference. If you're struggling to make ends meet or just need a little support with your natural gas bills, we're here to help. Because let's face it, you have enough on your plate. Learn more about our customer assistance programs at peoples-gas.com/help.
When you get a diagnosis of Parkinson's disease, things get real.
And nobody understands that better than the Parkinson's Foundation. All across the country, we provide resources and support in the fight against Parkinson's, a neurological disease that affects movement.
The Parkinson's Foundation is dedicated to improving care and advancing research towards a cure.
And when you call our helpline, you'll speak to a real person who can help you find the right information. Because while living with Parkinson's can be challenging, there are things you can do to improve your quality of life. So, whether you're newly diagnosed, have been living with Parkinson's for years, or caring for a loved one,
when Parkinson's gets real, find real answers at the Parkinson's Foundation.
Go to parkinson.org or call our helpline at 1-800-4PD-INFO, 1-800-473-4636. The Parkinson's Foundation. Better lives together.
Ms. Fernandez, what are those tiny things?
Those are what we call amoebas. You can only see them through a microscope.
Wow.
Today's students are tomorrow's great thinkers and innovators. But right now, there's a funding crisis in public schools. Millions of kids go to schools that don't have funding for books, computers, and so much more just because of where they live. You can help change that. Donor Shoes is a nonprofit that lets you support students and teachers in your community and beyond. You choose which supplies to support. You could provide first graders with pencils and paper, or other students with their first chapter books, help a music class get a guitar.
You could even supply a classroom like mine with a science project. But what you're really giving is the moment that sparks a brighter tomorrow.
To learn more, please visit DonorsChoose.org. That's DonorsChoose.org. Choose students. Shape the future.
The KDKA AccuWeather forecast is brought to you by JP Roofing and Siding, Pittsburgh's #1 Platinum Preferred Roofing Replacement Contractor. Call 412-829-7711.
Clouds are favored today with an early shower or two, then another one late with a high of 52. With the risk for a shower still in place tonight, it looks cloudy and colder with a low of 32. Then still cold for tomorrow with some sun, the high 47. Before a warmer up begins on Tuesday with sun much of the time, the high 64. For AccuWeather, I'm meteorologist LaTroy Thornton, 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
The following is paid for by Greater Pitt Tree Service. Information on the program is intended to solely further the public's general knowledge about the product. Opinions expressed should not be relied upon for any purpose by any member of the audience. News Radio KDKA does not guarantee the accuracy of any of the information aired on the following program.
These are the people, the movers and shakers, the businesses, the people you know in your community who make Pittsburgh work. This is Pittsburgh Works on 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
All right, if you have any tree-related questions now that spring has sprung, going to get a bit of a rainy/cold couple of days, but then warm weather to return just in time for the National Football League draft and all the excitement this coming weekend. But you're going to be enjoying those trees all season long, so if you have any questions right now, get the advice from the best. Carlos, Greater Pitt Tree Service. No one knows the city better than Carlos. Our number is 866-391-1020. 866-391-1020. So, misconceptions about property insurance coverage for trees on houses. We're going to break it down in different segments, but if you're dealing with homeowners insurance issues, a tree that has fallen on your property, maybe you have a tree that is about to fall or already has fallen, whatever, all of our lines are open. We can answer you in real time right now, 866-391-1020. So we've got a Pearl, we've got coverages. We're going to be talking about coverage A, coverage B, debris hauling, policy owners' duties after the loss, you name it. And the limit is $500 to remove a tree. Now, that cannot be the case, can it, Carlos? Good morning and welcome to KDKA.
Good morning, Rob. Thanks for having me. Yeah, that's one of the major misconceptions that homeowners relay to us after initially speaking with somebody that they might call on the 800 number, to start the claim or to file the claim. They're told they only get up to $500 to remove the tree, but that's very misleading. They get up to $500 to haul the tree off the property. They get whatever it costs for a tree company to come out and extract the tree off the house. Sometimes we're coming out with cranes and bucket trucks, and you have a massive tree that's, through your living room, and it could be, something that costs $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 for a tree company to come out at emergency rates, interrupt their regularly scheduled work to come out and serve you. And we get out there and the people are saying, well, they're only telling me they're going to give me up to $500, and that's not it. They kind of throw that out there and see where it lands. And if you're not knowledgeable about the terminology in your homeowner's insurance policy and the coverage you have, it puts you in a bad position to figure out how to get this tree out of your living room and who pays for it. And that's where we come in. We walk you through the process. We can step in and deal directly with your homeowner's insurance company. We can then recommend one of the major disaster restoration companies in town that we have partnerships with, where they come in once the tree's off the house. They might have to tarp the roof so there's no additional water damage, and then they facilitate getting the repairs done to your house and bill your insurance company directly. So it can be a seamless process if you call us. And if you don't, it can be a nightmare. It could be a long, lengthy process where you're 2-3 weeks with this tree on your house or on your property, no repairs done. So I highly recommend that you give us a call if a tree comes down on your property or down on your home.
Yeah, and if you're dealing with this right now in real time, or you're kind of concerned about an issue possibly happening, call us, 866-391-1020. But we will talk anything in the way of trees today, because that's what he does when he drops by twice a month during the season here on KDKA, Carlos, Greater Pitt Tree Service. Or you can reach out to them, leave your information, 412-884-TREE, 412 888-884-8733. And as I mentioned, we're going to go through the process one step at a time, different categories to kind of give you an idea why this is such an important topic. You know, in a perfect world, Carlos, if a tree falls and it's just lying in your yard, that's one thing. But you're talking fencing, you're talking a roof, you're talking an automobile, you're talking a pool, you're talking a major issue. So people need to understand. And then the biggest possibility and the most frightening, someone could lose their life, a pet could lose their life. So there's a whole lot that goes into why an emergency is when that tree has fallen. You have to do your best to get there. And more importantly, the consumer wants somebody like Greater Pitt Tree Service because they need a professional to handle all categories, correct?
Yes, you don't want to have one accident cause another accident by, you know, maybe somebody out there knocking on doors that doesn't have the proper insurance during these storms. A lot of companies from out of town come in, and some are good, and some, you know, you want to do your due diligence and make sure that they have the proper workers' comp to be on your property if they were to get hurt or killed while removing this dangerous tree. And that's where we come in. We cover all the bases. We put you, the customer, in a position of zero liability. And we, again, can just help you through that whole process. We'll let you know what's in your policy, what damage is there out there. Is it the coverage A, which is your main dwelling, or is it coverage B, which is any structures detached from your home, fences, pools, decks, detached shed? That's coverage B, and there are limits on your policy, usually 10% of what coverage A is. Coverage A is going to be the value of your home. You have homeowners insurance. You've insured your whole home, so you can get repairs up to the value of your home if there's a incident where, you know, a large tree crushes a house, or maybe a hurricane or tornado. I know we don't have many of those in our areas, but policies aren't really area specific. So coverage A is up to the value of your home. That's your main dwelling. And then coverage B is anything detached from that.
All right. So, again, their number, if you want to call them directly this morning, feel free, 412-884-TREE, 412-884-8733. But, again, if you have any tree-related questions, give us a call right now before the hour gets too far into the hour and we're out of time. I don't want you to miss out this opportunity to kind of at least get the ball rolling, get your mind thinking in the right direction, and getting whatever that problem may be handled. Before we go to break, one of the things that I admire about you so much, you really are an advocate. You fight for your clients. You fight for your community. Look, you need insurance. Everybody needs insurance, but they wouldn't be a multi-billion-dollar industry if they basically were just writing checks. So you got to have somebody that knows the paperwork, the lingo, the language, and crossing T's and dotting I's so people get the most out of why they're paying a premium every month. So just basically sending a check every month doesn't guarantee everything's going to go smoothly. So you need a professional fighting for you when it comes to a tree that damages your property, Carlos.
Yes. I mean, if you've ever dealt with an insurance company, and I have, and I'm sure a lot of people have, you know, their knee-jerk reaction is to pay. You know, you give them the full amount, and then they're like, well, maybe it's only this or that, or maybe it's nothing. Maybe we don't have any liability in this. You know, they have a business model that keeps them in business, and they look at a lot of things too. You know, if you're a new policy owner and you've only have, you know, a few premium payments built into this policy, there could be a lot of, you know, kickback into what they're going to cover and how much they're going to fork out to pay for the repairs. And it could be a struggle, you know, and I've seen it for the last 25 years. It's a little disheartening what they put their customers through. Like when I come out, you're really not my customer yet because I haven't worked for you, but I'm out there kind of going to battle for these people and calling their agent and calling their homeowners insurance company and letting them know, like, hey, this, you know, even though, you know, the tree's barely on their home, it's still coverage A. The tree's on the house. You have to pay what it costs for us to extract this tree off the house. And the customer's sitting there, and again, that major misconception, oh, they're only going to give me up to $500. And it's such a struggle. Not always. Some homeowners insurance companies, you know, they're really good at the process, and others, it's really hit and miss. I mean, we've had some of the major carriers be really easy to work with. And some of the major carriers, we get a lot of blowback on what we're doing out there and what they're going to pay for their customer. These are their customers. And a lot of times they don't have the boots on the ground to serve these policies that they're selling. These homeowners are calling me and saying, well, I can't get an adjuster out here for a week. What do? I have this tree, through my house or on my house. I don't want to sit here for a week and wait for an adjuster. And that's another misconception. You don't have to wait for him. You need pictures of the damage, pictures of the tree on the house or on the property, and then send our invoice in. And we know how to invoice these claims. We know what the comps are in the market, in the area. Insurance companies have all this software. They have a software called Xactimate where they punch everything in and it gives the comps in that area for a new roof or getting a tree off the house or new gutters or a new fence. It's their software. So they kind of punch in, what's beneficial to them, and then they go from there. So we understand all that. We understand in our pricing what their software Xactimate is going to cover for their customer for us to come and get the tree off the house. So we're very in tune with it. It's a great phone call to make. If you have a tree come down in any of these storms, I'm sure we're going to have more. We get some middle of summer when it gets really hot out. We get those violent storms. So we're out there for the community. We're Pittsburgh. We're out there for, we're not based in Minneapolis or we're not based in Columbus. We're Pittsburgh. We're out there to serve the Pittsburghers that we want to go out and work for.
Yeah, these trucks don't roll into town. They're parked in town. He's Carlos, Greater Pitt Tree Service, 412-884-TREE, 412-884-8733. Again, if you want to call us, 866-391-1020. Today's storm damage, misconceptions of what we do when trees fall on our property, and what is exactly your homeowner's insurance coverage. Lots of stuff still to get to. I hope you'll join us. 866-391-1020. Your calls and more with Carlos from Greater Pitt Tree Service next on KDKA.
News, weather, traffic, and business every day. Hear it on News Radio KDKA.
At Audion Hearing, our mission is simple: to make better hearing affordable for everyone. We're proud to offer high-quality, rechargeable hearing aids starting at just $98. Clear, comfortable, and ready to use right out of the box. And here's a study worth hearing. Research shows that wearing hearing aids can reduce your risk of dementia by up to 61%. Join over 1 million happy customers and hear the difference today by going to audionhearing.com. That's AUDIEN hearing.com.
And Doug. There's nowhere I wouldn't go to help someone customize and save on car insurance with Liberty Mutual, even if it means playing in a football game. Boom! 42! You're going down, Doug. Oh, yeah? Your price on car insurance when you customize and save is going down. Hey! Limu? What are you doing on their team? Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Hi, Paul Alexander here to let you know the KDKA has planned a fabulous 5-day Arizona getaway this September, and it's filling up fast. My wife, Shelley, and I want you to join us for an unforgettable trip based in beautiful Flagstaff, a relaxed mountain town that makes the perfect home base. From there, we'll explore the incredible red rocks of Sedona, travel by rail to the breathtaking Grand Canyon, a bucket list spot that everyone needs to see at least once. And then we'll take in the stunning scenery around Lake Powell with its deep blue water and wide open views. It's the perfect mix of sightseeing, natural beauty, and plenty of time to just enjoy where we are. And September is truly the sweet spot. Comfortable weather, no summer crowds, and everything planned for you. No guessing, no stress. Just show up and enjoy Arizona. Space is limited. Seats are disappearing quickly. Visit travelwithkdk.com or call 800-383-3131. Again, travel with KDK.com or call 800-383-3131. Can't wait to see you there.
SchultzFord.com. 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 SchultzFord.com.
Listen to KDKA Radio on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, or TuneIn apps.
These are the people who make Pittsburgh work. This is Pittsburgh Works on 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
All right, again, number to dial to be on the program with Carlos Greater Pitt Tree Service is 866-391-1020. All right, so we were talking about different categories when it came to your situation at home. Peril, as in peril, P-E-R-I-L. We were talking about that. That's an event that causes damage to property. There are different types of these. Some are covered, some are not. So when it comes to trees on houses, such as a tree from the wind putting that tree on your house, what do people need to know? Go ahead, Carlos.
Yeah, so the terminology in your policy is important for you to kind of understand and know and be able to talk back and forth with your insurance company about. It starts first with the triggering event. Mostly in our area, the triggering event is going to be high winds that are bringing these big trees down in these storms that we have due to, maybe loose ground or just elevated areas in our area where the tree just can't sustain those winds, and it brings a healthy tree down on your property or on your home, coverage A, your main dwelling. Now, what the terminology shifts to is peril. Now you're living in peril. You have a tree on your house. You have a tree through your house. You have a tree blocking the entrance to your garage where you can't get out in an emergency, or your front door. Now you're living in peril. Next term that pops up is indemnification. The insurance company has to step in and indemnify you, make you whole pre-loss by paying what it costs to get that, extract that tree off your house, haul it out, and get your property looking like it did before the triggering event. Also meaning fixing that hole in the roof or your broken fence or your crushed pool. Your property, like when you get in an automobile wreck and you have a big dent, you take it to the auto body shop and they repair it and it looks like it was never there, right? That's what they have to do with your house. Same thing. They have to indemnify you, make you whole pre-loss. That's their job. That's what you pay your premium for. So those are kind of the main terms in your policy: triggering event, peril, indemnification. These are things, once you start talking their language, they're kind of get like, oh, wait a minute, Mr. Smith is knowledgeable about his coverage, and he's talking about coverage A and main dwelling, and he's living in peril, and he wants indemnified. And then it kind of gets to where you're talking their lingo, and it usually turns out better for you, where they're not just coming in and saying what we've been talking about. Oh, no, you get up to $500 for this tree. And I heard it the other day. That's why I picked this topic. We've talked about it before. We had a call the other day, I think it was Thursday. The last storm we had was a couple weeks ago. This caller still had a tree on the corner of their house. They're being told they have to call 3 companies. They're being told they're only going to get up to $500, and they're panicking. They're like, I can't get anyone to call me back. I know it's going to be more than $500. What do we do? And they called us, and we stepped in and walked them through the process, dealt with their homeowner's insurance company. It could have been a call if they made 2 weeks ago, the day that the tree came down, that it would have been gone maybe that day or the next day, because we have 3 crews out there when these storms hit. We can service this big call volume. We have office managers in the office fielding these calls, and these poor people were, over 2 weeks with this tree on the corner of their house, and that's just kind of the misconceptions. That's what's in that article I shared with you, that hopefully we could share with the listeners on Facebook, or I could put it on my website, or I actually forward that article to every call that comes in that has storm damage, and we encourage them before we get out there to read through this article. And then when we come out, they're like, oh my God, I'm so happy you sent this to me. This is what I needed to see. I didn't know this. I didn't know that. They were telling me this. They were telling me that. And they read through the article, and it just puts everything on a level playing field.
Again, number to dial to be on the program, 866-391-1020. So Carlos just sent me a set of pictures how $12,000, but they wanted to pay $3,000. Here's the other thing. If you hire some fly-by-night company that they don't even have their logo on their truck, or you've never recognized that name before, or there's some private equity or some big box that comes rolling in just when the storm happens, Look, they don't understand the rules of the road. They don't know the landscape. They don't know the home values. Nobody knows the city of neighborhoods better than you. You grew up in Greenfield. You're in them every day. You get it. And unless you have somebody who can speak the lingo or language, as you said, they're going to lowball you. It's that simple, right, Carlos?
Yes, exactly. And that particular picture I sent you was a large white pine that fell off of the hillside. It shattered into a few big pieces and was resting on and in that house, coverage A, main dwelling. We come out with our $350,000 crane, our chippers, our chip box truck, 4 to 6 guys, the next day. So we're billing at emergency rate. There's a premium for us to interrupt our scheduled work because sometimes we lose those customers. They say, well, wait a minute, I was waiting on your schedule for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and now you're telling me you're not showing up today. And I say, look, this person has a tree on their house or in their house. We're trying to, make it safe for these customers. So our pricing is a little bit of an increase, and everybody's is when it's an emergency. But that particular one, we went out, we took the material off the house. We were out there with $500,000 or $600,000 in equipment, 4 or 5 guys, and sent in our invoice, which was, what I thought was spot on. And I don't even remember the name of this insurance company. There's so many right now. And they came back with, oh, well, we think it's around $3,000. And I told them I wouldn't start my crane up for $3,000 for a job like this. This is what it cost. They didn't have pictures. I sent them pictures of the job site that I just sent you, our crew. I take a lot of pictures when we're out on these storm jobs for this case. Mm-hmm. And so they went up from $3,000 to $10,000, and I just said, fine, I'll take it. So I ate the $2,000 that they didn't want to pay the full invoice. And just because I don't have time to negotiate or get into legal battles or lawyers with them, and they kind of know that. But for them to go from $3,000 to $10,000, like, come on, man. Like, what you just thought you'd throw out a low number and somebody would take it, and that's what they do a lot of times. And
well, here's the thing: if they would deliver on what they say they're going to do, okay, let's barter a little bit. But you're the one that's doing all the bartering. It shouldn't be that way, and they're not delivering. If you get the finished product, then it's a good deal for both sides, but they're not giving you the finished product. Look, you have any questions about this or you're curious, give us a call right now. All of our lines are open, 866-391-1020. Anything about tree-related questions, give us a call. Carlos is here, or you can call, leave your name and number at their office right now, and they will get back to you, and they will help you. 412-884-TREE, 412-884-8733. Back with Carlos, Greater Pitt Tree Service, in just a couple of moments. Good morning.
I still remember the first time CertaPro painters did their magic in my kitchen. Professional, beautiful, no worry. Loved everything about it. So there was the next room, and even outside. And know that each CertaPro painter's business is independently owned and operated right here in our community. Schedule your free estimate online at CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C. It's so easy. And take advantage of the spring sales event for 10% off qualifying projects through May 15th. So go with CertaPro Painters.
Y108 presents Odyssey, The Night Before, powered by Bowser Chevrolet, starring Jason Aldean. Hell yeah, but that's the way we get down. In a hick town underneath this Amarillo's. Hey, let's go! You can't buy a ticket to this show. You can only win your way in. Full details at Y108.com. Presented by Miller Lite and brought to you by your local AAA travel office. Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration, Ross Park Mall, and Broken Bow Records.
From the Aetna Medicare Studios.
Proud to be the voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
It is 44 degrees at Pittsburgh International at 9:30. I'm Rob Taylor. 13 people have been displaced from their homes after a fire broke out this morning in Allentown. Now, fire crews were called to the 1500 block of Arlington Avenue this morning around 5 o'clock for a house fire. Now, the main house that caught fire was unoccupied, but another house also caught fire. And as mentioned, 13 people have been displaced. No injuries have been reported. In McKees Rocks, fire crews rushed to a fire at a home in the 300 block of Olivia Street. This happened Saturday around 4:45 in the afternoon. The right side of that home was charred by fire, and there were no injuries. KDKA Radio News Time is 9:31. Our next update's coming up at 10. I'm Rob Taylor on the Voice of Pittsburgh News Radio KDKA.
Shopping for replacement windows? Metropolitan Window Company elevates your shopping experience.
John, Maggie, and Justin Schmutzer here from Metropolitan Window Company, Pittsburgh's locally owned and family-operated window and door company for over 47 years.
When you choose Metropolitan Window Company, you'll experience personalized knowledge, expertise, and professionalism from our first visit to your home until our craftsmen complete your installation.
We're the window company that people want in their homes, and our exclusive Infinity by Marvin 100% fiberglass windows are the windows people love.
They're built for life. They are the strongest, longest-lasting windows you can buy.
And we have a great selection of colors and finishes. Experience Metropolitan Window Company. Stop by our showrooms, visit us at metropolitanwindows.com, or give us a call at 412-655-8411.
PA 1565.
Been 30 time would have been 30. No, would have been 30. Being 30, been 29. If that'll help, been 29,000.
Get ready to bid on the equipment you need in the Ritchie Brothers Northeast Regional Auction on May 5th. Inventory is housed at locations in Pittsburgh, North Franklin, and Northeast Maryland, with in-person inspections available. Bid on a wide selection of construction and transportation equipment. Don't miss this great opportunity. Visit rbauction.com/Pittsburgh to sign up. Again, that's rbauction.com/Pittsburgh.
With Aetna, I always get a quick answer, and I don't have to search on the internet. They go above and beyond to help me with whatever I need.
Those words from a real Aetna Medicare Advantage member speak to why U.S. News & World Report named us a best Medicare Advantage company. Because we show up on calls with members and doctor's offices when requested. We show up with access to convenient care options. We show up for you. Because that's how healthier happens together. Member feedback has been edited for length and clarity.
Why deal with crowded hotels and packed pools when you can have the whole place to yourself? At SWAC Vacation Rentals, some homes come with private lazy rivers, indoor pools, massive game rooms, and outdoor kitchens built for the whole crew. These aren't hotel rooms, they're private vacation playgrounds, managed by us, cared for by us, and ready when you arrive. And when you book direct, you keep more of your vacation budget where it belongs, with you. Find your unforgettable stay at SWAC. SWACK vacations.com. That's SWACvacations.com.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell, definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. Do you feel stupid for buying a timeshare? Don't. It's not your fault. You were most likely told you could rent it, and it was a great financial investment. And the deal was available today only. If this happened to you, contact your resort or Wesley Financial Group for help today.
Call Wesley now for your free exit information kit. 800-939-1441. 800-939-1441.
The KDKA AccuWeather forecast is brought to you by JP Roofing and Siding, Pittsburgh's #1 Platinum Preferred Roofing Replacement Contractor. Call 412-829-7711.
Watch for a shower or two early and late in the day today. Otherwise, generally cloudy with a high of 52. Then colder for tonight with another shower around late and a low of 32. That leads to tomorrow, which brings in some cold conditions with some sun and a high of 47. But warmer Tuesday with more sun around, high 64. For AccuWeather, I'm LaTroy Thornton, 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
The following is paid for by Greater Pitt Tree Service.
These are the people who make Pittsburgh work. This is Pittsburgh Works on 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
What I love about Carlos, he is homegrown, but Greater Pitt Tree Service is all about educating you, the consumer. They're not looking just to get money or to get a job. They want to educate you. That's why he is doing this show twice a month. So let's get proactive instead of being reactive right now. And look, these are some of the trees that Western Pennsylvania is really known for. And if you're out there and you have these trees and you've got questions, you need to give us a call right now while you have this opportunity, and it'll definitely give you the right direction as far as your next step. 866-391-1020. Red maple, white, along with red oaks, fast-growing river birch. You got American dogwoods and the eastern white pine. Just a few of the trees that you may recognize. So any question, 866-391-1020 or 412-884-TREE, 412-884-8733. But what people must understand, they've got to be proactive, right, Carlos?
Yes, I mean, it's a difference between, paying a little bit of money or sometimes a lot of money when a big storm comes through, or sometimes it's just the age of the tree that it's time for it to fail. There's a shelf life of yard trees, that they become more problematic than beneficial. And when you call us and we come out there and we send Troy, who's our ISA certified arborist, again, I've said it before, we're coming out there and kind of playing detective. Like, what's the age of this tree? What's the soil like around it? How's the wind hitting it? Is there some tall unions that grow away from each other that maybe we could cable together so they're a little bit more taut when the wind hits them? And these are things that the educated homeowner, and we love the KDKA listeners because they are educated consumers through listening to shows like this. The other contractors you have on the air, the other businesses, they rely on what they hear on your airways. And that's why we love the callers that call us that are KDK listeners. But you give us a call, we get out there. We're not out there to just come out, cut your tree down, knee-jerk reaction, make money, and see you later. We're going to maybe instruct you that, hey, let's take a little bit of the height off of this tree, or let's cable it together, or maybe there's some loose soil that we can, kind of identify. When it rains and you're seeing this mud wash down your yard or your driveway, guess what? That was soil that was previously holding maybe a large tree down, and over all these rains that we get, it's washing away a lot of that soil that holds it down. So that's where we come in. You give us a call, we get out there and kind of play devil's advocate and give you the information and let you make an educated decision based on that.
All right, so let's take some calls right now. 866-391-1020. Let's go to Mark. Mark, you're up first for Carlos from Greater Pitt Tree Service. Go ahead. Good morning.
Good morning, gentlemen. My question is a little off base, but something I've been wondering about for years. I've had a lot of work done in my house with different tree companies. And about 3-4 years ago, I wanted to get a job done after Thanksgiving because I didn't have the money that he needed for the whole thing. So he called me up midsummer and said, hey, I'll come and do the job now. You give me half and then give me the half after Thanksgiving whenever you get it. So he came. He did great work, no question. No complaints or anything like that. And then they just disappeared. They never came back. I called them 4 or 5 times to pay them. Won't return calls. Haven't seen them in the area again. How does this happen? It happened like twice to me with 2 different companies. I just can't understand it. How does that happen?
Well, it's a very unregulated industry. It's a very, fly by night. One week you're a tree company because you went out and rented a chipper and have a nice pickup truck, and then the bills start coming in. You got insurance, you got workers' comp. Oh, wait, you got to fix that chipper. You got to get your PA inspection for that truck. And all these bills come flying in that you can't sustain, and then they just kind of drop off. I've been doing trees since 1992, and I wish I would have kept track of all the companies that pop up and then are gone the next year or a year or 2 later. Maybe they didn't have the proper insurance and someone did get hurt on their job site, and, they came after them because they didn't have the proper workers' comp. So it could be a variety of reasons. But, as far as you're concerned, hey, I hate to say it, but, you only had to pay half of what the cost was for that tree. That's on them. So that's about all I can say on that.
I'm up on that. I was just so it is something that happens commonly. It's not just a fluky thing. You've seen people come and go. And
well, I would look for the main thing. The main thing to look for when you're hiring a company, go on the Better Business Bureau, see what reviews they have, see what their rating is. Go on Google, see what their reviews are, see if they have a website. To be on Google is a very strict, lengthy process. You have to submit background checks. You have to have a website. You have to have proper insurance, send them the certificate of liability. They investigate all that. So if you're getting companies off of Facebook, I'd say 8 out of 10 of those don't have any of that. You know, there's no regulation on Facebook unless you say like a swear word or a racial remark, then they shut you down. But you can advertise your business with no PA contractor's number, no proper workers' comp insurance, and you could advertise all day long on Facebook. It's kind of, I don't know why they don't regulate that, but it puts the consumers in a false sense of security where these companies are generating these AI visions and of their company, of what they want you to think they are, and a fancy business card, and there's nothing attached to it other than ChatGPT creating this for them. And maybe that's why a lot of these companies fall off, because a lot of them aren't even real companies. They're just something that somebody's making to create to fool a lot of consumers into hiring them, and they have no value attached to it.
Well, you have to have a company that was there before all the AI and everything else and social media. Their name is everything, and he's been around since the early 90s. And if you know these people, you see them at the local diner, the grocery store, your place of worship, the local high school football sporting event. Those are the ones you lean into. You know, and we were exchanging text messages during the last break. Here's what else has happened. They never deliver. People in all walks of life, sadly, they don't know how to finish, how to close. You promise what you're going to do, then you deserve to get paid. If you're there in the end standing, you should get paid. But here's the other thing, Carlos. A lot of these big companies have just gotten so big, they don't have as many people as they need to staff and to do these jobs. Plus, you don't have the relationships. Look, I've been getting my auto insurance from the same company since I was 16 years old. It's gone from one generation to the next. I could pick up the phone right now on a Sunday, call her, and she would answer. People also need to understand, if you're going to pay a little less because it's a bigger brand and you think they have bigger buying power because they're a nationally or internationally known name, your best bet is to stick with Ma and Pa or Mr. and Mrs. Smith that your parents did before you down at the end of Main Street. It really still comes down to relationships, and that's why you're standing and still growing, because of your name and who you are and the relationships you've built.
Yes, correct. I've made my business on relationships. The money will come if you cultivate and maintain relationships with people. That's what adds the longevity to, especially a small business that relies on the word of mouth and referrals. And we want your daughter and your sister and your neighbor's work. So we're really going to come in and cultivate that relationship. And that's what I like. I like going to these job sites and meeting the customers. They hear me on KDKA, and you know, we sit there and talk. And I did a job a couple weeks ago, and the older gentleman, he was my sister's history teacher at Sacred Heart in 1982. And I learned that because I'm in this guy's kitchen talking with him like you know, we weren't even talking trees. We were just talking about life. And that's what I really enjoy about this whole process. And the platform I have right now is to meet Pittsburghers and hear their stories and give them a good finished product. And that's why we're around for so long.
Apparel, we've been talking about that. Indemnification, we've been talking about all of that. But here's the other thing as we go to break. Anybody else has any questions or thoughts? Very educational type of show today. 866-391-1020. You know, while that tree's hung up on your roof, everybody thinks that you're not going to get another storm between the time that tree gets taken down. Look, who knows? Another microburst comes through, then you've got even more damage, or sadly someone gets injured or even killed. So the quicker that tree can be removed from wherever it is other than upright in your backyard, that's the safest route to take. And nobody realizes time is of the essence. That's why you have to leave certain jobs when it comes to an emergency to handle these jobs. I think people think sometimes, especially those who take your checks every month, they think that it's going to be status quo until they finally get there because you're on their time. Bottom line is they're on the clock working for you, right?
Yes, good point. And that actually, those pictures I sent you, that particular job that we did, we came the next day and got it off the roof, and we had a disaster restoration company sitting there waiting to tarp their roof so they didn't get any more water damage, because there was a lot of rains coming up the rest of that week. And so we prevented that property from getting all these rains, all this water damage coming in through their house, and the insurance company footing out tens of thousands of dollars, because water damage, I mean, that's a tough one. That really causes big bills to occur on your claim, and that the insurance company is responsible for. So, yeah, time is of the essence, and don't sit there with the misconceptions. Oh, they want me to call 3 companies. You don't work for them. There's no language in your policy, if you read it, that says when a triggering event occurs, and a tree's on your house, you have to call 3 companies. You didn't sign any agreement that was listed, and there's no language in your policy that says that. That's a huge misconception because, like you said, Rob, time is of the essence.
Great stuff. Absolutely love it. 412-884-TREE, 412-884-8733, or 866-391-1020. Back with Carlos Grader, Pitt Tree Service, in just a couple of moments on our Sunday morning with your Pratt Pack at KDKA. Good morning.
We're only 4 days until the draft. Everything you need to know surrounding the draft is right here. It's brought to you by Bill Few Associates Wealth Management, 100.1 FM and AM 1020, KDKA.
Suffering from peripheral neuropathy? Learn how over 15,000 sufferers regained their comfort, mobility, and quality of life with Tri-State Neuropathy Center's successful treatment plan that is FDA-cleared, non-invasive, and drug-free. Here's Sean Ritchie, D.C., and Tri-State's founder about one of their many satisfied patients.
Rick from Irwin suffered for 14 years with peripheral neuropathy from an autoimmune disorder. He was super skeptical when he came in. He'd been going to doctor after doctor, and they told him there was nothing that could be done. After qualifying Rick for our program, utilizing our FDA-approved, most powerful equipment on the market today that's non-invasive, no surgeries, no drugs, we were able to get him almost 100%.
Tri-State Neuropathy Centers helped Rick. Let them help you next. Call 724-940-9000 for a free consultation. That's 724-940-9000. Tri-State Neuropathy Centers, the leader in treating peripheral neuropathy.
If you or anyone you care about is facing a family legal matter, call Cordell and Cordell today at 1-855-GET-LEGAL or visit CordellCordell.com to schedule your consultation.
There's a lot on the line in divorce. This is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell, the largest family law firm in the country, with over 35 years of helping clients navigate divorce. But being big doesn't mean less personal or less local. Our attorneys live and work in your community, and as neighbors, they understand the challenges your families face. Divorce touches all areas of your life: your home, savings, retirement, and of course, kids. So when you find yourself facing divorce, you need a partner you can count on. Visit CordellCordell.com to schedule your consultation.
If you or anyone you care about is facing divorce, contact Cordell and Cordell today. With over 100,000 clients served, we understand the challenges you're facing on a personal level. Call Cordell and Cordell today at 1-855-GET-LEGAL. That's 1-855-GET-LEGAL. Pittsburgh and Cranberry Township. Joseph Cordell, licensed in Missouri and Illinois.
My son loves to fly kites, but my active psoriatic arthritis can sometimes hold me back. Now with Skyrizi to treat my skin and joints, I'm ready to go. Skyrizi, Risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults, helps with less joint pain, stiffness, swelling, and fatigue. For those who also have plaque psoriasis, 90% clearer skin is possible with just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infections or a lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check for infection and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms such as fever, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough, or if you plan to or recently received a vaccine.
With Skyrizi, there's nothing like clearer skin and better movement, and that means everything. Ask your doctor about Skyrizi today and visit Skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKYRIZI to learn more.
SchultzFord.com, 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 SchultzFord.com.
These are the people who make Pittsburgh work. This is Pittsburgh Works on 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
All right, really good content today with Carlos Grader, Pitt Tree Service. If you want to set up an appointment with them, 412-884-TREE, 412-884-8733. And if anybody else, like Mark, has a question you want to give us a call, please feel free to give us a call. Talk general tree stuff or some of the stuff we've been talking about in the way of homeowners insurance. We would love to hear from you at 866-391-1020. But it is all about being proactive. So talk about what you do with plant and tree and healthcare and how you you can get people signed up, and Troy can come out and take care of business season after season so people don't find themselves in a very desperate situation trying to get a tree removed from their house. Carlos.
Yes, we're in our now second full year of our plant healthcare division, spearheaded by Troy Lampenfeld. He's a close family friend. I grew up with his uncle. I went to St. Phil's first grade with him, and went to Central Catholic with him, and we're friends to this day, and very great family, and Troy's his nephew. So Troy, college educated, he's like a rock star in the industry, certified arborist, ISA. He'll come out and inspect everything on your property, let you know what you have, what you need to do, what you shouldn't do, and steer you in the right direction. And it's all the information that he comes out and gives these customers that, yeah, you can maybe Google some things, but you can't, Google can't come out and do a soil sample around the tree. Or we have a device called a resistograph, where if you have this huge tree in striking distance of your home and you're unsure if it's solid down at the bottom, because a lot of times we cut down trees and they're hollow. How do you know that? Well, we can figure that out. Troy comes out, brings the resistograph out. He puts these prongs around the base of the tree at several heights, and it measures the density of the tree. So now you have data, you have information to make a decision on what you're going to do with that tree, that now you know that 90% of the mass is missing. And that's why calling our company, getting Troy out there. I also come out on a lot of these because I want to meet the customer, and we come out there and we're in your corner. We want to make sure that your home's secure. Your home's your main investment that most Americans are going to make, in their lifetime. So we want to protect that. We want to make sure it's secure for you.
Well, family owned, obviously. You've got family members who've been working for you one generation to the next. They all get checks from you. They're not subcontractors. You spend money in the community. I mean, come on, let's face it, Carlos. You understand what's at stake here because you'd want the same treatment for your house, right?
Yeah, we just want to deliver a good product that I would want to purchase, or that I would want my mother to have if she called a company, and that's important to me. And yeah, we're out there in the community. I'm sponsoring little league teams. I'm sponsoring youth camps for high school football teams for Central Catholic. We sponsor the youth camp every year where all these kids get to come out and meet these, Central Catholic high school football players that are going Division I, and these kids look up to them. And the coaching staff at Central Catholic right now, brings these youth kids out there and teaches them, about football and about life too. There's a lot of life lessons that are taught out on the football field, and we're a part of that. And when I'm working in your neighborhood, guess what? I'm finding that pizza shop that I didn't know about, or that diner, or that restaurant that I've been meaning to go to, and now I'm in your area, and my money's going to go back into your community, and that's important to us.
All right, so in closing, I have to ask you, because you're a football sports fan like the rest of us, are you anticipating the draft coming to town, or is it going to be difficult for your trucks to maneuver the neighborhoods that you're so familiar with?
Look, I like a good challenge, Rob, so bring it. I'll negotiate how to get around these neighborhoods. I know every street and route in Pittsburgh. I'll go up and around somewhere to get to where I need to go. So I view it as a challenge. I'm very competitive. So if you're going to throw something at me, I'm going to figure out how to come out on top. So I'm looking forward to it. It's exciting to have this in Pittsburgh. We got a lot going on. We got the NHL playoffs. We got a great baseball team right now. We got the NFL draft. And guess what? You got Greater Pitt Tree Service, too. So it's all coming together here right now.
Listen, your trucks are cool. I was actually out in the South on Thursday, and I'm along 51, and I see those trucks. And listen, one thing I know about you, no one's going to work harder, and no one's going to understand the lingo and the language of we Yinzers. So we're just really happy to have you here today. I mean, these shows are on your dime, but you take some time out of really the only day you get to rest with your family and kick back a little bit. and you came here today, as you already told me the other day we were planning, you were thinking about this because if something happened, day to day at your workplace, and you figured, you know what, if this person's thinking this, I got to get this out to the homeowners. And I guarantee you right now, people are thinking, I didn't know that. I didn't know this. I didn't know that. So you got to be proactive. And I believe the best thing people can do is to sign up and get Troy out there on a regular basis. He's easy to talk to. He understands everything A to Z. And that way you can stay on top of things and you don't have to find yourself in a situation where you're dealing with an emergency. Carlos.
Yes, there's a lot of applications that Troy's going to come out and recommend that we come out and perform. Like I talked about a minute ago, sometimes we could cable these large trees together where the wind's not ripping them apart. We can do the resistograph to determine if the tree's hollow, and let's get it down before those high winds bring it onto your roof. Maybe the tree's too congested in the center mass, and we can get in there and thin out the center mass or take a portion of the height down. And now you're ahead of things, and you're securing your property, and you're not getting that claim on your policy because guess what? Insurance policies renew every year for a reason. So if you have a claim on a policy, you're paying a deductible. Most likely at some point you're going to get a premium increase to cover that. That's their business model. So it might be better to have us out there and pay a little bit rather than a lot in the long run.
Here's the bottom line, peace of mind, and we could all use more of that. Carlos, May 3rd. Until then, have a couple of very enjoyable and safe weeks, okay?
Thanks, Rob. I appreciate you having me.
There he goes, Carlos, Greater Pitt Tree Service, 412-884-TREE, 412-884-8733. News coming up next.
The proceeding was paid for by Greater Pitt Tree Service. Information on the program was intended to solely further the public's general knowledge about the product. Opinions expressed should not be relied upon for any purpose by any member of the audience. News Radio KDKA does not guarantee the accuracy of any of the information heard on the preceding program.
The Village at St. Barnabas, the perfect place for moms.
Spring has sprung, and so have the insects. Win the battle with Harmony Organic Insect Control. Nothing is safer, nothing works better. Harmony is earth-friendly, 100% non-toxic and safe for plants, people, and pets. Harmony Organic Insect Control kills spiders, aphids, mites, soil lice, millipedes, and hundreds of other garden pests. Find Harmony at participating True Value hardware stores or online at harmonyoic.com. Hello, spring. Goodbye, bugs. Thanks to Harmony Organic Insect Control.
Here's a tale of Tina searching up and down for decent GLP-1s, but got spun around.
Tell Good RX Road and hey, we got something new. GLP-1 prescriptions, all FDA approved.
Brand name meds, no flags that are red.
Clear pricing from the start. None of those hidden fees in your cart.
Delivered to your door or pick up same day. Darn tootin'.
Save time and money on prescriptions.
I'll put it to goodrx.com/weight loss. GoodRx is not insurance.
Are you paying too much for term life insurance? A man age 50 non-tobacco user can obtain $500,000 of coverage for as little as $110 per month, level rate for 20 years. That's right, guaranteed level rate for 20 years. Call Term Busters for a quote, 1-800-908-7636. You're probably paying more than you should. Call 1-800-908-7636. Sample rate for preferred non-tobacco rate class, exam required to qualify. For details, call 1-800-908-7636. Paid for by Robert Livinger, Insurance Agent.
I'm John Morgan at Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm. Over 35 years, I've seen it all. Car crashes, work injuries, defective products, medical mistakes, lives flipped upside down in an instant. But I've also seen something else, the power of fighting back, the power of winning. Over $30 billion recovered and counting. Size matters, reputation matters, results matter. There's only one Morgan & Morgan.
Morgan & Morgan, 603 Stanwyck Street, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania lawyer will handle Pennsylvania cases. Prior results do not guarantee a similar outcome.
The Pittsburgh Speaker Series at Heinz Hall, presented by University of Pittsburgh, announces its 26-27 season. 7 evenings to deepen your understanding of the world around you, featuring Anderson Cooper, former UK Prime Minister Boris Johnson, historian Anne Applebaum, financial journalist Andrew Ross Sorkin, and former NASA Administrator Charles Bolden. The series is sponsored by News Radio KDKA and the Spanos Group of Raymond James. Tickets on sale now at pittsburghspeakers.org.
Listen to KDKA Radio on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, or TuneIn apps.
KDKA and KDKA-FM HD2 Pittsburgh. W261AX Pittsburgh.
Always live on the free Odyssey app. from the Aetna Medicare studios.
Proud to be the voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
It is 45 degrees at Pittsburgh International at 10 o'clock. I'm Rob Taylor. 13 people have been displaced from their homes this morning following a fire this morning in Allentown. Fire crews called to the 1500 block of Arlington Avenue for a house fire around 5 this morning. Now, that house, the main house that caught on fire, was unoccupied. Another house caught fire, and as mentioned, now 13 people displaced from their homes. Right now, no injuries have been reported. Allegheny County Medical Examiner's Office ruled the death of a 2-year-old girl a homicide. Sarah Dargy was found unresponsive on April 7th at a home in the 100 block of McClellan Drive, that's in Pleasant Hills. She died at UPMC Children's Hospital 3 days later. Now, the medical examiner says Dargy died from ligature compression of the neck, a type of strangulation. No charges have been filed, but Allegheny County Police are investigating. Well, a surprise at a college football stadium on Saturday. Here's CBS's Michael Toscano.
Under bright blue skies and with a large American flag attached to him fluttering, the skydiver floated over Lane Stadium in Blacksburg, Virginia. On the field, a Virginia Tech football scrimmage. As people in the stands watched, the course of the unidentified parachutist veered, and he crashed into the giant video screen of the scoreboard. A parachute appeared stuck between the C and the H on the Virginia Tech lettering on top of the scoreboard before first responders rescued him. He's okay. Michael Toscano, CBS News.
Woman who died in a shooting in Braddock early Saturday morning has now been identified. County Medical Examiner's Office identified her as 26-year-old Quinn Vinay. Police say a suspect fired shots at a group of people from across the street around 2 Saturday morning. That was near Club Elegance in Braddock Avenue. 3 people were shot.